What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Dicatina Show. I'm joined by Ryan from Snyderverse and Mr. Matt Jarbo. What's going on, you guys?
Not too much. Just here.
Going good. Yeah, it's going good.
I was paid to be here, by the way. So
yeah, I did pay off Matt.
That's right. You know,
I sent him.
It's all that money he made live streaming at work.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you know what it is I sent Matt.
Welcome to the Nicotina Show.
Some of my credits from DoorDash.
Okay. Yeah, they've been pretty good recently.
I put it on my red card.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Wait, I have to pay for that though. That's how that works.
But see, I hate that. I hate when you go into a restaurant and do DoorDash, right? And they go, "Oh, I'm like, hi, I'm DoorDash." And they go, "Well, you have to wait in line like everybody else because you got to use your red card." I'm like, "What?" It's like they make you wait in line and you got to order.
They don't even give you a yellow card first.
That's what Baskin Robbins
automatic
does.
red.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, are you
red card.
Me?
Baskin Robbins, but now Baskin Robbins in my area has a deal with DoorDash, so I don't have to. I don't have to wait. They have it ready when I get there.
Ouch, Ed.
That's discriminatory, right? To have a red card, like, oh, you cannot have unless you have a red card.
Yo, what's going on, Eric?
Who would they be discriminating against, though?
People that have black cards, brown cards.
That doesn't
blue cards.
No.
You lost the joke there. Man.
You
had something.
What is a red card? What the hell is a red card?
It's just a debit card they have you pay with.
Yeah. So like, if you have to pay for the order, you use your red card. You're not actually paying for it. They're paying for it.
Yeah.
Because some restaurants don't allow you to actually cut in line and get the order. They make you wait in line like you're a regular customer. It's really stupid.
Yeah, and those are places I don't go to anymore. I just don't accept the order.
Yeah. If I get a Baskin Robbins, I just move on. I go, no, forget it.
But, so like when you get to their house, it's mush.
For me, it was Wendy's.
Burger King's like another one. Burger King is they're super slow where I'm at.
Oh, well, Burger King is super slow everywhere. It doesn't matter here, anywhere. It's like they're just notoriously terrible.
I don't know why they're so slow.
Everyone's exceptionally wasted when you go there. It's Burger King.
What was funny is I went to a Burger King over here once and they were out of burgers.
Interesting.
They were just out of burgers.
So this is what we're talking about right here. We came on say at 3 o'clock. So we want to talk about Burger King. That's it.
That's going to lead.
Okay, so real quick, let's talk about the first topic. Oh, now he's got the mask on. Just trying to be safe, right?
Yeah, I got to use protection. That's how I have kids.
So, guys, Black Adam takes over a Times Square takeover. Now, we saw the video footage of the whole, the hierarchy, the DCU is going to change forever. They did a huge thing over in Times Square, which I thought was really cool. But Matt had a video that talked about The Rock being the key to the Snyderverse. Now, Matt, can you elaborate on the idea that The Rock could be the key to unlocking the Snyderverse or restoring the Snyderverse?
Yes, The Rock is the key to restoring the Snyderverse.
There you go.
That's why I brought you on.
That's the whole thing. No, it's okay.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here. It's been good.
What's up,
Kid? But don't you mean Jarbronies? Katsuka? You got to say it right. No one ever says that. Like I see it pop up and I make the connection, but like no one ever does.
Jarbronis?
Jarbronies. Yeah, it means it's just I have no idea. It's going to be an Urban Dictionary at some point in time.
Hopefully.
But the reason why I talked about The Rock being the key is because The Rock has been very supportive of Zack and the Snyder Cut, and he's been very supportive of Shazam and Henry Cavill, and he's got a connection to this kind of stuff. So, and he's made comments about wanting to battle Henry Cavill, battle Superman. They have the same agent. They're good friends. It just makes all the sense in the world that they would want to find a way to continue in that same universe. And he is, one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. If not, no, he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's like the megastar of Hollywood right now.
Even though I have said, like, he's not a movie star. He's definitely an entertainer and he's a celebrity.
Yeah, he's an entertainer and a celebrity.
But, like, he jumps around franchises like you wouldn't believe. And he's always trying to find his franchise. And he's been signed to Black Adam since 2007.
12 years.
2007. Yeah, 12 years.
So, like, this is the one he wants. And so he's got...
What?
I don't know that one.
Go ahead.
Cool. You broke me on that one, Iffy. You broke me on that one. And so I think that ultimately, if he came in and he was pushing Emmerich and Hamada and Sarnoff, and he's all like, restore the Snyderverse, that would be a big issue. And if he tweeted about it or if he put it on Instagram, that would be insanely huge, because that would mean that their biggest star coming into this new world is something that wants the continuation of Zack Snyder, and they're not going to be able to deny that.
Well,
like that should be the petition,
because if that's what he
to their
wants,
faces,
oh,
right?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I mean, you know, Dwayne has had meetings with them as even recent as today, as they have meetings about this very topic. So he's able to look Hamada and Sarnoff and Kylar and everybody in the eye and tell him what he wants. And so yeah, I mean, I'm on board with what Matt's saying. I do agree with that Dwayne is very vocal about wanting to be a part of this universe because he wants to attach himself to a success, and especially after the Justice League, that's a huge success.
Zack Snyder's Justice League you're talking about.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's
well,
not the Justice League of 2007.
Well, he did meet with Hamada today.
Yeah.
And, he did?
And he said that he wants to be part of the Snyderverse, regardless. And Hamada tried to tell him, well, look, you can't tell me those kind of things because, well, let's just check out the footage.
What is your name? I told you it doesn't matter what your name is.
I would imagine.
I thought you were being serious. I'm like, wait, I didn't read that anywhere. Where are you guys getting your info? Have you been talking to Mikey Sutton? What's going on here?
No, I have not been talking to Mikey Sutton. I have not been talking to him, but
you've been on Sill's show recently because he gets all that scoops.
Well, why is it quiet? I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to silence Jarbo. But no, it's like I agree that if The Rock in any capacity is a part of, or even speaks out, is the fact that he wants to be part of the Snyderverse, he is their biggest asset right now. And to me, he has more say than even Hamada or Emmerich at this point. If you lose The Rock, and let's say The Rock's like, you know what? I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. And he goes and signs with Disney to go be a Marvel character. Imagine the backlash of that. That would get people fired immediately. If he were to leave, walk away from the table, walk away from this project, and go join up with Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's why I thought your video was so interesting, because I was like, yeah, you know what? I like the fact that, like, we need to highlight the fact that The Rock has that kind of power. The Rock can make those kind of decisions happen because of his sheer star power. Now, he's made some movies that are kind of stupid. Like, what's the one where he only has one leg?
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. It was Die Hard in a skyscraper. Oh, wait, yeah. You've been there.
No, yeah. It was what it was. I mean, I was just like, whatever, it's fine. If you're not expecting much, then yeah, it was fine. But he was in obviously Jumanji and Jumanji 2.
And Central Intelligence, or
which was terrible.
I mean, he's been in a lot of bad, properties. But it's just but people go out and watch him in droves because, like Matt said again, is that he's a huge superstar. He's not an established actor, but he's definitely a big name.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, Aaron was asking over here that, do you think, I think Black Adam will most likely be in Shazam 3. I think at this point, they're kind of setting it up for him to appear in Shazam 3. I always felt that he should have been the villain in Shazam Part 1, that they should have started with that whole, or at least built right into the Shazam versus Black Adam confrontation. And if not, I think it'd be interesting to see Henry Cavill try and show Shazam how to become a superhero. Like, hey, dude, like, I know you're a kid, but like, you need some help with this. And then that's when Black Adam shows up, and then then you can kind of go into the whole Black Adam versus Superman and Shazam kind of storyline, which I think would be really, really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if they tried that. However, if the way that this whole DC universe, or let's say the Hamada-verse, is running, it looks like that's not even going to happen, because Cavill is going to be a part of Snyder's universe, unless they somehow can separate that.
The thing is, they can't separate it. They can't separate it. And I did say, I don't know if I said it last night in my rant, but like, with the fact that JJ, who has wanted to do Superman before, is not doing Kal-El, but is doing Val Zod, supposedly.
Right.
Yeah. Then that would show that Superman is still in play. And I think, like, look, the fact that Warner Media still hasn't come out with any numbers on the Snyder Cut officially, that tells you that it did better than they want to admit. Because if it was bad, if it bombed, they would come out and they'd go, no, it did. It didn't match up at all with
they'd
Wonder
be quick
Woman.
to throw it under the bus.
Yeah, and they haven't thrown it under the bus. And that, of course, is the key factor here. So, yeah, what they need is like, look, you can have Zach say, because Zach is, let's be fair, behind, kind of once again behind the scenes, kind of handing out, orders, right? He's kind of issuing orders because he was kind of doing that before. He was the one who was fueling the fire for all of these years by teasing and teasing and teasing and letting other people kind of run with it. And here, he said before the movie came out, they don't want to work with me anymore. They don't want to, they don't want to keep this going. This is kind of a one and done. He said those things. Yeah. And then fans are just like, no. They don't want to believe it, but he kept saying it. But then he's on Vero, like, keep watching. And I'm like, what's your messaging? Like what are you doing? Do you think people aren't watching Vero? Like, I'm frustrated by the confusion that I feel Zach is doing. It's like, I think he is, if it's done and it's dead, say it. You know what I mean? Say it.
Well, and Sarah kind of tried to say that.
She did.
And it blew up in her face.
But according to who did it blow up in her face?
According to the millions of tweets that were put out, the 1.5 million, Matt. I mean that's huge.
That is huge. But at the same time, I'm gonna be the pragmatist here, right? And that never wins me any friends. It's not hard to get a tweet bot.
But that's why we like you, Matt. That's why we like you.
And I've said, and I even showcased on my own videos that there were people that were going around and using sock puppet accounts to try to discredit any more action in the Snyderverse. It was like one guy, 3 different accounts, all the same comment, posted like within a minute of each other, and then those other accounts are commenting on other threads as well. So people are out there running a disinformation campaign. And we don't know if every single one of those Restore the Snyderverse tweets are going to be pro it. Now, again, social media wise, that is one thing that pushed with the release of Snyder Cut movement. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are taking note of that. And I'm not saying stop doing it. What I'm saying is, we need the data. The data is the key, because with that, then you can
know what's Lois Lane.
No, well, yeah, sorry. No, sorry. Right. We gotta find a way to boom tube and stop him.
You gotta get that right.
Oh my God, you guys. Anyway, but I'm saying the data is important.
Not cool. Not cool.
No, but the
chat's saying right now.
Fine, that's fine.
The data, like you're saying though, Matt, but the data's all over the place. It's not just they don't have. It's not just one platform that they're using, that they're pulling from. This is data that is going to take at least a quarter to amass, accumulate, and then sift through or organize.
Well, it's not hard to look at the streaming numbers and to have an accurate count.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes to the PVOD, where it was streaming outside of the United States and things like that, that data is already accumulated. When I worked for the theaters, every single night when I was a manager, I'd have to call into Rentrax and give them our data every single night. Every theater sends off data, their numbers every single night. These companies have up-to-minute dates. They have up-to-minute analytics. So this whole like hiding out nonsense, it doesn't hold any weight, because the data is there. It's all right there. They know it. They said 3 days after Wonder Woman, how many millions of people watched it? They came out and they said 6 million people watched it on HBO Max.
True. They were all over the numbers, but
they were all over it then.
We can't count these numbers.
So I don't understand. It's too many numbers to count. I can't count all of these numbers.
Somebody needs a computer over here, because I don't know how to put these numbers together.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
It's like they're getting frustrated at each other. Like, come on, you got a problem? I can't figure it out. But no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
get in over here. She's going.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is like, people, you got to like demand the numbers, and the fact that they haven't said anything yet, and I've seen no trades start asking those questions either, because they want to protect the studios, because the studios are their bread and butter.
Exactly.
So they want to do that. So it's up to the fans to keep pushing 100%, which is why focus your efforts, dude. Using just the hashtag, target that hashtag and tag The Rock in it. All right. Tag The Rock in the hashtag.
Restore the Snyderverse, and then hashtag The Rock.
The Rock. That's what you got. You got to do it. No, you got to do it, because the thing is, The Rock will pay attention. The Rock will absolutely pay. His team will pay attention. Like, they'll be like, what's going on here? Like, you're getting tagged in a bunch of this shit. Some weird 39-year-old fat ass from Washington is talking about you, saying, you're the key. What does that even mean, Dwayne? I don't know. Can we sell tequila?
Right,
Can we sell tequila? Can we sell our energy drinks? Let's do it.
You can probably bounce a key off my
Yeah, yeah. It's like, but the thing is but that's the truth of it. The fans, like, you know, they did well with the release of the Snyder Cut because that was something that was already made. Yeah. It was already shot. It was tangible. It existed. It just needed money and time to come together. Now we're into let's make something appear that is not yet crafted.
Right.
And so that's yeah, and so now it's going to be the new contracts with the actors because it's probably going to end up becoming a miniseries or a limited series, which just makes the most amount of sense. They're going to have to do that. They're going to have to find a way to bring the money in because it's going to have to be a co-production from Warner Brothers. HBO itself is not going to, with the budget that they have, they are not going to be able to put in another $200 million right now.
Right.
You know, in order for something like the Snyder Cut to come into existence and have HBO itself pay for it, or HBO Max's budget pay for it, they're going to need to hit 50 million subs, paid monthly subs, and it's going to have to take a couple of years to get there. So they have the money in circulation. I mean, Netflix can drop $15 billion a year on material, on content, because they've got almost 200 million active paying accounts every single month. You know? And so it's like, so the money is flowing in. Warner Brothers is going to have to pick up the other side of that. And that's where the problem's going to be. Jason Kilar, yes, could come in and tell Emmerich to greenlight it. But right now, Emmerich has sole greenlight power within HBO Max for the movies, as well as Warner Brother Picture Group. Like, that is his power level right now. So it's like Kilar, Sarnoff, Emmerich, Hamada. Okay? And you got your bottom three basically telling all of us to F off. And you got Kilar, real F and silent. Real F and silent.
But why so silent?
I don't know. Maybe he can't get the shareholders on board. Maybe he's trying and he doesn't want to let anybody down. Maybe they think that if they come out and they actively, if he actively attacks says that it's done, people are going to potentially unsubscribe. And let's be fair. That might happen.
There's good hope on our side. Number one, Zach hasn't released who he shot as Green Lantern. If he did, we know it's over because he's like, I don't care anymore. This is what I did. You know, F Warner Brothers. Joe Manganiello is teasing fans with what could have been or what's going to be in the Batfleck series. Yeah, that's the same tactic that Zach used. Oh yeah, Lois got lasered or Omega beamed in the Batcave, and oh my God, everybody lost their mind, and he's saying, oh yeah, Batman and Batgirl are fighting Deathstroke in the streets because of the death of Jericho, and it sounds great, and that gets the hype, that gets the energy. Like, what are we fighting for? Oh, we're fighting to see this realized. And that's sort of, what's going on there. And then, there's also talks that Zach has seen, the Ayer cut, and he has a copy of it that he can watch at his house, but again, there's a lot of positivity and nobody's other than the Ann Saronoff hit piece. There's nothing else is coming out that is showing any sort of negative or stopping. It's all positive so far from, there's been no negative press concerning the release of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, well, here's something. When are the quarterly reports? Right? Got to think of it like that.
I mean, that's got to be soon, right?
That's actually April 22nd at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. Yeah. AT&T's first quarter 2021 results will be released. And then at 8:30 a.m. that same day, so at 5:30 a.m. Pacific, they will host a conference call to discuss the results. So I would argue that to some extent, April 22nd, which would be a whole month after the Snyder Cut came out, that it would probably be when we will get the data and when we will get any kind of significant announcements. I would assume
I agree. A month from now, at least, we will get some kind of response about what's happening with this whole Snyderverse. Yeah. There's no way that they can hide it after the quarterly earnings. There's no way.
Yeah. They can't because they have to, at that point, they're going to have to talk about it because that's their big push.
Okay, we got Ann Sarnoff in the chat, Matt.
Oh my God. Did you get my my cameo request to say restore the Snyderverse?
And if you're reading this now, Matt Jarbo has confirmed that #release the Snyderverse was a success. So you need to start listening up.
Yes.
There you go.
But I really think that that's going to be the day. It just seems to make a lot of sense because it's coming up so quick, and they also are going to want to be able to tout the subscriber numbers. Remember, that's the other factor here. So they said originally that 4 million people signed up for HBO Max for Wonder Woman 1984, and then that put it to 12 million total users. Half of which, so 6 million, were who watched Wonder Woman 84 in the first 3 days. I don't know why the hell they just didn't say 6 million. They used some really weird workaround math to make it seem like bigger than it was. It might just be because they figured that that was a low amount, considering that Netflix will come out and say, yeah, the old guard played in 96 million households over the course of the first week. And HBO's like, well, we have Wonder Woman. 6 million isn't bad, guys.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Right? Never mind the fact that like 27 million eligible accounts for HBO are not going over to HBO Max. Never mind all that nonsense that they should be really trying to figure out. So again, the whole thing is the whole house is still a mess. It launched a mess. A year later, it's still a mess. It's a bit better now. But the other thing too with the data is that they also said that following a month after Wonder Woman came out, right, 2/3 of those 4 million new people maintain their membership, right? So
only 2/3.
Only 2/3 of 4 million. So it's, it's what, 2.5 mil, 2.7 mil, somewhere in there,
right? Somewhere around there.
And I'm sure since then it's gone up even more because, you got Godzilla versus Kong coming out this Friday, which
Mortal Kombat.
On Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I can go see it in theaters on Wednesday, and I'm really tempted to because I just want to see that on the big screen.
But that's one of those ones where you really want to see it in the theaters.
Yeah, and then come home and watch it again, and come watch it again on HBO Max, 100%. I would have done that with the Snyder Cut.
Phone.
Yeah, I would have done that I would have done that with the Snyder Cut. I would have gone to see it in the theaters
easily,
and then come home and watch it again. But that's the thing is like these guys, another thing too. And I talked about this with Enosh because we were talking about should you cancel HBO Max, and I brought up the Samba data, right? And the Samba TV data wasn't entirely accurate. That people were running with those numbers. Not only that, but we don't know if what they were looking at was like the amount of minutes watched or the amount of like how many of those people who watched the Snyder Cut finished it, or like how many came in and were actually new subscribers versus old subscribers. I mean, there is so much here that we don't know, and so many people have absolutely jumped the gun in regards to that. So many people have run up and just jumped the gun. And we're like cosmic because they just ran with that first tweet and didn't read the follow-up tweet. That was going to, that was Cosmic Book News is one of them. And so it drives me up the wall that for one, they haven't said anything. That does drive me up the wall. Two, like the fans' reaction kind of drives me up the wall only because I'm like, just think outside the box for a minute and don't lead with emotion because emotions run high. I get that. And you can't in these situations run with emotion because that's going to give people an opportunity to bring up that toxic fan bullshit. Or like, was it Snyder Cut fans are going out now and downvoting Godzilla versus Kong?
Well, they shouldn't be doing that.
Might not be Snyder Cut fans.
25. It was 25. It was 25 out of 1.5 million people. I mean, yeah, I agree, but it's so not a thing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
But all it is just something to point out and something to magnify and say, look, this is what that fandom is causing. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean much.
No, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean a damn thing. And all of these people are running with it. And the thing with it is, though, is they run with it because they know that it triggers you, because they know they can use it as a way to get clicks and views from people who go that are pissed off about it. And then that might lead some people to then act upon being angry. And then they can point to that and go, see, we told you they're all freaking haters. They're just toxic, like those idiots in the corner like to say constantly because one person said a mean thing about him on Twitter. It's all victimhood. And even Ann Sarnoff talking about death. You're telling me a studio head never got death threats, right? You're telling me that anyone come on. This is Hollywood for crying out loud. Like how many times
grow a backbone,
You gotta, I get death threats pretty frequently.
Yeah, bitch.
I've had them written and mailed to my home.
That's even worse because then it's like, they took the effort.
Yeah, they took. I mean, well, to be fair, I kind of find I'm a little bit impressed on that one. To be honest,
you're
wow, they actually wrote. They hand wrote it on a postcard and they mailed it. cool. You know,
it's like an I love
with
California
love.
postcard.
it was from
Says with
Pittsburgh,
love.
actually. It was from Pittsburgh. But you know, like, who'd I piss off in
Russia
Pittsburgh?
with
Jesus. You know, but what I mean, the whole notion here is like, look, when you work in the entertainment industry, people say shit constantly. They constantly say things. All right, I'm not you know, dismissing death threats or toxic behavior.
Right.
But you have to look at it from the aspect of like, you know, let's say, for example, like, does the fandom menace speak for all of Star Wars fans? Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
And no one would ever in their right mind say, the hell, even they won't say it, you know, but no one would believe that. Right.
I think
It's
deep
like,
down inside, one of them does feel that way.
well, yeah. You know, I mean,
he
clearly
probably won't say it. He won't say it. But,
yeah,
you know,
a few of
I
them
feel
do, but a few people compared to millions of others. It's such a non-issue.
It's a non-issue.
That they have to just make it this attack. And without, and if you notice, that has also kind of been the focus been. Like, that was the thing with like that Esquire article, right? Where they interviewed Zach and they start talking about like the toxic fandom, but they never give any actual examples of it. You know,
Right,
and
yeah.
like that really pissed me off because I'm like, where's the examples here? I can point to D-bags in fandoms. I can point out tweets and comments that they've made. That's not a problem. I catalog a lot of that stuff.
And I'm sorry, but like, you know, did they ever once, you know, pull, you know, George Lucas aside and said, you know, what about those toxic Star Wars fans? You know, it's like George would have been like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
Like,
actually, after Red Tails, he did say like that was, you know, he's like, why would I make these movies? They hate me. So the toxic fans that got, because the thing is, it's not necessarily, it's always like death by 1,000 cuts. Let's be fair. Okay.
Right.
Like 1, 2, you can just kind of rub it off, whatever. When you get like 1,000 people, it does start to feel, even though that's a minute comparatively speaking to the rest of the world, or even who's on Twitter, it can feel like it's a lot, and people out there like to really blow up that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you know what? Just, man, like if they don't have your home phone number and they're not like calling you or writing you stuff, just like log the F off, walk them away. Like, you can change your settings on Twitter to not see certain things, right? Like, I will fully admit, when people started pushing the Us United hashtag, I muted the hell out of that thing because my timeline was full of nothing but that for like a day. And I'm like, I can't operate with this, you know? And I'll be open about, like, I believe in it, but I'm like, I'm going to mute the hell out of this shit because it's like, it's clogging up my view. And that's the whole point. You can mute accounts, you can mute words, you can mute phrases, you can mute whatever you want, and you can make it a much better experience for yourself. But everyone wants to just be a victim, man. Like, and that's the whole thing that sucks.
But see, that's what I don't like is the whole victim mentality, especially when it comes to social media and on YouTube, especially, is that people try to, you know, kind of exploit the whole I'm a victim to try and get money, super chats,
views, subscribers,
clicks, everything. And it's sad. It's very sad. So real quick, I know you have to go really soon, Matt, but let's take a look really quick at this. There was some data that was put out today that I want to share with you guys. Let's take a look. Okay, so here is the tweet from Bloomberg. It says AT&T HBO Max had the biggest increase in video streaming last week as viewers flocked to its recut version of the superhero epic Justice League. And then we go into that, and it goes into the numbers down here. And there's some verbiage too, but I'm not going to read all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, go away.
It says
You're
your
like,
monthly
screw
limited
reading
free
words.
content is about to expire. Stay on top of historic market by.
So
I'm just looking at all of his tabs right now. I'm looking to see what's open. It's all Twitter.
You can't
You're
read them
good.
all. Yeah, they're all
You're
Twitter.
good.
Well,
They're all
usually
Twitter.
it's
I wish I
porn.
can get rid of that so you can't see all that, but I don't know how to do that. Anyway, so you can see on here it says for the week ended in March 28th, downloads of the HBO Max app rose 64% for the top increase. DAZN and app downloads show the biggest decline. Okay, so here it is right here. There's HBO Max, and here's your app sessions, 119 million at 1.48, almost a million and a half downloads, right? Compared to everybody else. Now, granted, I mean, look, some of these were already downloaded on other people's computers and devices as it is. I mean, we're talking about Netflix, Disney Plus, Roku. You know, some of these are already on the devices, so you're not going to see a huge increase in that because they already existed on the device. But at least it shows that it made an impact for HBO Max in terms of look at how many downloads they got.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at the 64% change.
Yeah,
you know, like. It went up quite a bit. So that's really good. I mean, and that would be the thing people are flocking to go and see. Because a lot of people, they're not going to be early adopters. Let's be fair. A lot of people out there are not. They're just kind of, whatever, you know, like they're going to come in when the time is right. And I think, I just, again, like I said, they got to show us the data here. I think at this point, I'm just going to be honest. I think we deserve to see those numbers. I think we deserve to know that information. Because I don't want to come across as sounding entitled, but at this point, it's like they're causing so much confusion and animosity to some extent. I mean, even Ryan, like you were after the interview, you were like, I'm out.
Dude, I'm to the point where I'm pretty jaded. And that's kind of my sort of same feeling with Star Wars happened. Is just like I just got jaded by it. I'm like, I'm not excited for it. If it, whatever comes out, I'll watch it. Like the Suicide Squad, I'm not as excited as I would be if they would just like go ahead and let him do his thing. You let him do his thing. I will fully support you. And watch whatever you have coming out. Just don't crap on something that is clearly well received, and just because of personal feelings about it.
Exactly, but that's what it comes back to is that when you're running a company, running a studio, running any business, you base it upon what does your customer base want? What does your customers want? They want the Snyderverse, but yet you're saying I don't want to give that to you because that wasn't my idea.
So not to pimp my own stuff necessarily, but when I was researching Man of Steel, BVS, and the Snyder Cut for Podio commentary episodes, what I looked into the numbers.
And what Podio commentary is? They're a podcast that you listen to when you're on the potty. All right, go ahead.
That's accurate. Yes, thank you.
It's actually called The Shitter.
The shitter,
yes,
the John.
That's the other. I don't know. Long Johns for your. I don't know. I have no joke for that.
All latrines shall be known as Johns.
All right, go ahead.
And so, I love that movie. But the thing is, like, so if you look at it, right, like Man of Steel pulled in, the most money, or not the most money, but it did pretty well for 2013. It did very well with promotional tie-ins as well as home video sales. BVS did 857, right? But it had a terrible Rotten Tomato score, and it had a bad word of mouth, and it still pulled in, 857 million. An 80 million in video sales, but we don't know what it did digitally, even though it released a month early digitally. So we don't know what that data was to talk about how much money it made there. Justice League just crashed and burned across the board. And then again, look, the theatrical of BVS and the theatrical of Justice League, they both were meddled with by the company. And in the case of Justice League, it was outright torpedoed by people like Kevin Tushihara and Jeff Johns and stuff. And so as a result of that, they just lost money. And I think that's what they're looking at here. They're looking at like the connotation, right? The fact that Man of Steel and BVS and Justice League all kind of like have this stigma around it, so to speak. And that's what I think they're afraid of, like average people not wanting to go down this pathway. But you can't deny the success of the Snyder Cut and the success of the online movement. I mean, that's all anyone talks about.
Even that limited run that they just did of BVS, the remastered edition, sold out within
just like
12 hours.
I mean, it
was a limited run, but I mean, it sold out for the copies that they made.
And if you want to buy it,
yes, read it.
Yeah, I mean, they just what is it? You can order it right now and pre-order it, but it won't ship for like a month on Amazon before they can get another reprinting it. It's not even in stores. Not even in stores. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like BVS was #1 DVD and Blu-ray sales for 5 weeks in the summer of 2016. Between the two of them, 5 weeks it was #1. But so it's like,
but still, the way they're treating this property. I mean, look, Barcy's really upset. She's frustrated, and you can tell by what she's leaving in the chat. And she's normally yelling. She's yelling, and she's one of the most level-headed people I know. And even this is frustrating her. It's frustrating all of us. I can't stress it enough, you guys. Keep tweeting out # Restore Snyderverse, and like Matt Jarbo said, I would tag The Rock.
Tag The Rock. Tag The Rock in it, yeah.
Because The Rock has that kind of power.
Tag Danny Garcia too.
Yeah, and
don't forget about Danny Garcia.
Because she tweeted out the exact same thing he did.
She's the agent. Yeah, she's the agent, and she's the one who's going to be working those deals for both of them. So it's like it's tag them both in there because that is going to show that they're going to have she can use that as star power for her clients. Do you see how popular they are? Go on IMDb and look at Henry Cavill and Dwayne Johnson's page, because every click they get is an impression, and that raises their quote unquote star power within the website for people who are looking at that. And that raises their profile on there. She can use that data as well. I mean, there's things that the fans can do, ethically. Okay. Ethically is a key word here, in order to raise the profile for this. And that's the whole point, is like, got to think outside the box. Just tweeting, not going to do it. I mean, raising the money to go to Comic-Con in November this year could be something to put up a banner or whatever. But really, it's like, got to get the star power behind it again, because that really does help out too.
Exactly. And before we go, Matt, let me just point out the fact that you want to know how powerful The Rock is. You guys really want to know? Here's a good example right here. Here it is right here. When he could take over all of Times Square, I can't even grab that damn thing.
DC Universe is about to change.
And that's every screen on Times Square. That's not cheap. You know what I mean? That they didn't cost a few $100.
Yeah, for something that's like 10 seconds long.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone on the street's probably like, what? Or whatever.
It's
Black
over
Adam?
before they know, right?
Yeah, they're like, what? Huh? Is that a McDonald's ad? What is that?
It would have been less expensive to go to the Bunny Ranch.
I know, but still, there it is. There it is.
You can never turn it off. I don't care how much you try.
I don't care. Matt, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you coming on here and talking about what we talked about and talking about your video as well. So, guys, definitely check out $3 Theater. He's got a great channel over on YouTube, and also check out his Matt Jarbo channel. Subscribe, share it.
Yeah. And I do I'm streaming over on Hollywood After Dark now, because I still have those 2 copyright strikes from Warner Brothers that hopefully will expire by tomorrow.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
hoping,
Well,
because they haven't. Either that or they're going to sue me. They're going to sue me. Who knows? Maybe they'll come back with some litigation. Then I'll be out there with something new to talk about. Like, I'm getting sued by Warner Brothers for using 1 frame of the Snyder Cut.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for having me here. And we'll have to get me on for a full episode sometime when I have some time. So
definitely.
All right, guys. Have yourself a good one.
So that is Matt Jarbo of $3 Theater and his channel, Matt Jarbo, over on YouTube. So definitely check that out. But I mean, Ryan, we saw what he did, how he took over Times Square with that short little video.
He did.
Yes. But and that's what I'm saying. That shows you the power that The Rock has in the entertainment industry. If he were to back the Snyderverse 100%, then I don't see how anyone can stop it.
No, you can't stop it.
You can't stop it. You can only hope to contain it.
The bell's been rung. The door's been flung open. That was Matt Jarbo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got Dawson's commentating from the chat. That was.
Well, I mean,
Matt
until
Jarbo.
he gets his new computer, that's.
I sent him a link too, so
good.
if you want to come on audio only, you're more than welcome. Dawson. You're more than welcome.
It's always good to have him weigh in.
Okay, so everyone's going to ape shit because of this whole announcement that I've been kind of ignoring because we were talking to Matt. Was that Russell Crowe is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder? Who cares?
I saw an image of him on a boat.
I mean, it's cool. Whatever. I mean, I don't see why it's a bad thing. Why? Because his character in Man of Steel is dead. I mean, he's just when we saw him talking to Kal-El, I mean, he was just a computer-generated version of him. So
they could pull, they could do so much stuff with him. I mean, he could come back as just the voice. I mean, just like he did in Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, I mean, they can still have his character sort of, kind of tethered here and there, in different aspects or whatever. Same thing with Field of Dreams guy. What's his name?
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. They can pull him back in to do more lines. So what was that? Oh,
I can tell that you're not a sports fan. I mean, it's Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams. I mean, come on, you can't.
I like playing sports. I don't like watching sports.
No, you don't like watching sports, and we kind of know that way. So, since we have Ryan on the show right now, let's talk a little Star Wars. So, we got an announcement today for the Obi-Wan news, the Obi-Wan series, and this was it right here. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Here it is. That's not
Where
it.
is
There
it?
it is. Okay, so the production begins soon on Obi-Wan Kenobi, a special event series coming to Disney Plus, and it gives you a look at the cast of, or the main cast of the show. She's from Game of Thrones. She died a horrible
And
death.
you see
Hayden
old
Christensen.
Ben, or not? You see old Ben. You see Vader. You see Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And I don't know who the rest of the cast will be.
I thought that was cool that they brought those two back from their, because they played the roles originally in the George Lucas movies.
And I'm hoping that they're going to show some sort of reason why Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan sort of like, or why Uncle Owen has such disdain for him.
Later, Rasha.
So
What do
see
you
you
mean?
later. So yeah, I would love to see what that's all about. You know, it's just like, oh, this is crazy, man. Just don't listen to him, Luke. He's fucked in the head.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some interaction between Obi-Wan and Uncle Owen.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting to see that. I do agree. Now, Rupert Friend, who's got an interesting last name, I believe, just by the look of him, he will probably be a villain.
No. They'll make him shave the mustache.
Yeah, they'll be like, shave the mustache,
Shave the
shave
mustache,
the head,
or you'll
shave
be a
the head
villain.
too. Maybe Kumail is going to be the villain. Who knows? And then we got this guy here, Sung Kang. He was from the Fast and Furious.
Okay.
He died as well in that movie, in that series. But I mean, it looks pretty cool. But we know now that production of this series is going to go.
Now, is
April.
Deborah still the director of this thing? Because that's the only thing that I'm kind of waiting to hear. Because she was
Deborah.
actually Deborah. Oh my gosh, I forgot her last name.
Snyder. No.
No. Chow. Is it Deborah Chow? I let me look it up. She
Hey,
was
what's going
she was
on,
a
Kyle
director.
Harkins?
She was one of the directors on Mandalorian the first season, and she directed a pretty good episode, or a couple episodes that were pretty good.
But see, I like what Anthony Schrader's saying here. I would love to see a Liam Neeson Qui-Gon make an appearance in the show.
Oh yeah. Deborah
He
Chow
played that role so good.
from Canada.
Liam Neeson. You're still going to talk about Deborah Chow. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Thank you. No, she's the one, and she's still attached to direct. Let me.
Oh, she
But
is.
yeah. I mean, so she did some good episodes there, but yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm the most excited I am is to actually see Hayden Christensen back, more than Ewan McGregor. Hi.
The power of the Rock compels you. So you're more excited to see Hayden Christensen, even though do you think we're going to see him without the mask on, like all Darth Vader out?
He would. I mean, it would be so easy for them to not use Hayden and just use another actor, put prosthetics on him, have somebody else,
and just say it's Hayden. Yeah, that's Hayden Christensen in the mask. You'll never know.
Yeah. No, you have to have Hayden.
It was actually Jeff Johns
in order for it to have some weight for his return. Yeah. And back in the day, when he did episode 2, I was not thrilled with his performance, but I mean he was wet behind the ears, and that wasn't really his fault. That was more, I blame Lucas for it, because he's not the best. He's a great special effects director, but as far as like pulling performances out of people, he's very that's his weakness for George.
He's like, I can even stop people from dying. Cut. That was good. Okay,
cut. Yeah, the lighting was perfect on that.
The lighting was perfect.
The green screen. Well, the king, the effects out will be so easy. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna look bigger than life. But what about his lines? Oh, nobody cares. Oh, here
is Dawson Weidrich. What's going on, Dawson Weidrich?
Thank you so much for correcting that. I was about to chastise you like there's no tomorrow.
There's a CH at the end of it, so I always get mistaken.
German, you uncultured swine.
It's Weidrich.
No.
Dodson, we've got Dodson here. See, nobody cares.
What's going on, man?
I'm doing good. I'm just pure audio for right now. I'll get my computer tomorrow, which is nice.
Tomorrow. Cannot wait till tomorrow. Are you going to have a big stream to announce your new computer?
Well, it's already listed on my YouTube channel, so if you've been paying attention.
So this is the 17K celebration.
Yeah, not quite yet.
17K celebration.
No, not quite, not quite. No.
Sam Benjamin.
What?
And guys, if you haven't done
What?
so yet, definitely check out the Foreigners channel. We did an interview with Sam Benjamin. It went really, really well. He's such a cool guy.
Do we have a thumbnail for this week? For Ray
Not
Porter?
yet. No, but we haven't yet because Dawson doesn't have a computer, so he just gave up.
Oh, wow.
I have
You're right.
one in the works. I just haven't finished it yet.
Okay, so yes, we have Ray Porter on the show, and we are going to have a lot of fun with him. He's a gracious guy, and
There
love
he is
having
right
him. There he is. He's going to be wearing the helmet,
The helmet.
and that'll be really cool.
He's like, "What did you say to my hand?" So here's a cool.
What's in my hand?
What's in my hand?
Sand.
All of existence. So guys, here's a cool image that I found on the internets
Oh, really?
that I want to show
On
you
the
guys.
interwebs?
On the interwebs. I was on Netscape and I found it. And let me show you. I thought it was
Damn,
really
you're
cool.
old.
When I saw it, I was like, "Hey, this is actually a good."
You're
a good
one
point.
to talk.
Okay,
Hey,
here we go.
Look, hold on. Love Barcy, take her comment off though, real quick. It's just like, look, it's just, oh no, put, don't blow me up. No, look at my body. Look at my body.
What are you doing?
ACS, his body. This is funny.
Oh my
there
goodness!
he
There he is. Get you up here. Yeah, there we go.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. What is the shirt you're wearing, sir? And why do I not have one?
Nice.
Wow,
Nice. You
yeah, I
got the
saw that.
shirt.
Yes, it's on the DC thing.
You son of a...
And we got Ali here as well.
Oh, there they are. I was wondering.
So,
who the-
well, they
where the
just got off
co-hosts
their
were.
other stream where they were talking to somebody more important than us.
They're on Super High channel. Doing a spoiler review of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. What's good, chat? What's good,
Broke
everybody?
down
in the
all
chat?
4 hours.
Hey, so show us the shirt.
Oh,
Look at that.
oh, let me rise up in my brand new.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
man,
Holy
that's sick.
shit.
Oh, here you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's got a new chair.
Yeah.
Anthony's been spending that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Brooke know about this?
Yeah, I hope. She was with me when I bought it.
A lot of money on the side from
Yeah. He's been raking in the dough, just raking it in, you guys.
Andre's paying him a
coming in now.
monthly stipend for being his co-host.
all of your super
Yeah.
chats are
All
being
my
appreciated.
all my
Ali's
Patreon
payments are
money is going
forthcoming.
straight to Anthony. Ali's like, "Hey man, what the hell? Where's my cut?"
We're organizing
Yeah.
the checks.
Andre and Ryan should make a buddy cop movie or cope movie.
Yeah, they got
Yeah, we're gonna have
each
to
other.
How we cope with WB more like, what's up, sickness?
What's
With
good?
Sickness is in the house.
I don't think Vin Diesel has any trousers on. Oh, he's talking about Anthony.
Nah, yeah, I do. I have on. Shorts.
Yeah, it's 4 nerds,
It's
and
4
Dawson's
nerds.
here too.
Yeah, Austin.
Wow.
Well,
That's
you're not
because-
really with us until tomorrow. So
Well, guess what? You're not invited.
Hey, is
My
it?
stream.
How's it?
Damn it.
How's it coming tomorrow? Is it going to be like USPS?
Excuse me?
or?
I believe it's USPS.
Oh, okay. So
What are
you
we
can-
talking about here?
My
It's
computer, you
computer.
dingus.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So
I'm
do you
lying,
think
I
they
lost track
packaged
there.
it with popcorn or bubble wrap?
All I know is that Best Buy sent it to me, and yeah.
I thought you bought it from Staples.
No, I bought it from Best Buy. Where did you get that idea?
I thought didn't you say you bought it from Staples?
No,
No,
I
I
said
said
Best.
I said I got my chair from Staples.
Oh,
Dementia setting in. The first signs of becoming old.
Dementia.
Look at me now. It looks like Anthony's holding me.
You're like a baby.
He's like, yeah, I love you.
He's giving you a bear hug.
Oh.
You gotta act like he's squeezing the life out of you. Just like,
Comfortably, I'm like, yeah, what's going on?
That's
man?
gross.
How you doing? It's
Oh
so
my God.
cozy
So-
over here. I'm cozy. Look at me.
So earlier,
He's holding me.
well, I should say at the top of the hour, we're going to welcome Kirsten Acuna on the show. She works for The Insider, and we're going to talk about some of the tweets she put out recently describing how Joss Whedon and how Justice League in general, how it was redone and how it sort of took away from a lot of the characters, especially a lot of the female characters. So we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But guys, we were just talking about how, this video by Matt Jarbo about how The Rock could be the key to restoring the Snyderverse because of his sheer star power. Anthony, you kind of look at The Rock. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that if The Rock were to be 100% behind this,
the clip,
that there would be no...
You got to play the clip now.
I don't have the clip.
Dude, how can you tease that without having the clip?
Yeah, that's
a fail.
He has to
Four nerds and a lady.
Actually, I would tune into that. I think that'd be a funny show.
Four nerds,
kind of like the Golden
lady.
Girls, but better.
He's all, what the hell is happening already? All right, now, I work with children. It's like a kindergarten. I know. Well, if you ask Dawson, he'll tell you that he plays with children. So.
I told you, man, but when it happens, and it will, because eventually going to happen, we'll all be able to meet each other for the first time. Allie is going to be like, you guys shut the fuck up. Because we're going to...
I know. That's going to be it's going to be at the IMAX premiere of Justice League.
Yeah.
We get to go see that. She'll have tickets from Ray Porter. But
you'll see all of us.
Why
You'll
you guys
see
on that.
You'll see all of us unconscious.
She'll be
and
sitting
don't
with
worry,
Ray Porter
it's not
in a
because,
luxury box.
We'll all be unconscious. And don't
yeah.
worry, because it's not because we're sleeping. It's because Allie punched us because we weren't shutting up.
Yeah. Okay, so here's that image. Okay, here's the image that I wanted to bring up earlier that and I got distracted. Okay, and I thought it was really cool. So this is it right here. It says Cyborg sees a vision of a future where Superman turns evil. In the next scene, Cyborg's system senses resurrected Superman as a danger.
Makes so much more sense.
That makes so much sense. When I read that, I was like, wow, that would make complete sense. That his system was like, oh, that's the guy we saw. He is a threat. Because he couldn't control it. He was like, oh, shit.
The ship that we just integrated ourselves with to bring him back straight told you before you did it, don't do that shit.
Don't do that. I would not do that.
Yeah.
When Carla Gugino tells you not to do something, you don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't do it. But I love how that in that scene compared to the one we got in the theatrical cut, I like how they raise the stakes because the computer straight up tells them, and then Cyborg tells them that if they wake him up, if they use the mother box to wake him, it will let Steppenwolf know that the location of the mother box. So they know that, but they take that risk anyway because they have to bring back Superman. And I loved how they raised the stakes of that scene. I love how they made, even with Ezra Miller, he says, if I run faster than the speed of light, weird things happen with time, but I would be able to generate enough of a charge to power the box. And of course, they cut out the first part in Justice League because they were like, "Oh, we don't want to go there. Let's just go with this."
You are now tuning into the audio commentary of Zack Snyder's Justice League, presented by the Nicotina Show. Welcome.
The Snyder Cut.
So,
well, I think the image is really cool though because it makes a lot of sense and
yes,
that's totally what is happening. I was like, "Wow, that's."
I didn't know that needed. I mean. Thought that was kind of obvious.
Okay, well, I'm a dumbass, so anyway.
This is why she has more subs.
But Allie, what I'm saying is that when you illustrate that, it's like, yes.
Right. No, yeah, but I thought that the way they portrayed it in the movie made it more obvious compared to the theatrical version, because in the theatrical version, you assume that Cyborg is probably getting some kind of information from the ship, but they don't put all of that in the theatrical version, and then he, the same big thing. They kind of change his dialogue, Cyborg's dialogue, to say it's stronger since the
Just
interface,
say booyah!
Or whatever. Yeah, instead of it senses danger.
Yeah, it says booyah. That's what it is. So, guys, let's welcome our next guest to the show. Her name is Kirsten Acuna, and she works for the Insider. What's going on, Kirsten? Sorry, I'm calling you Kristen.
What's up?
Can you hear us? How are you doing?
Hey, no, that's okay. I get that a lot. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I can hear you guys great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We can.
Yes.
I'm great. I've actually been I've been low key listening to you guys.
oh,
Okay.
Awesome.
She normally listens to us in the evenings while she's having a glass of wine and preparing dinner. She's like, "Oh, those guys.
I wanted to know what you guys were talking about before I came on.
She was in the chat.
Yeah, she was in the chat.
No, I was listening to you guys like talking about The Rock earlier, and I actually, so I don't know if I missed if you guys had said this at all, but I was wondering, like, do we know how The Rock feels about the Snyderverse? Like, is he team Snyderverse? Because you guys were saying maybe The Rock, if someone like The Rock supported it, that would be helpful.
He does support it.
The main thing we do know. Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, he definitely does support it. He has had a meeting with these guys recently. And I mean, yeah, and he has wanted to be in, or he has wanted to sort of challenge, what's his name, Henry Cavill, who is also represented by his agent, ex-wife, Danny Garcia, and so they've been trying to get this thing together because eventually The Rock wants to challenge the Justice League, but this version of the Justice League. And of course, you know, he's been searching for a franchise. Fast and the Furious kind of hit and miss, but this one here, I mean, that's why he did what he did with Times Square, because he's really putting all his eggs in one basket. This is a role that he's been trying to portray for at least, when it releases, it'll be 12 years.
I know he's been working to do Black Adam for so long. I'd actually almost go and argue. Do you really think that like Fast and Furious is kind of like And I only say that because I feel like he came in and now he's like, I'm like making my own like thing in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, he did Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
which was a huge success, the best film of the franchise.
Ryan loves Hobbs and Shaw. He has posters, everything. It is what it is.
As a matter of fact, I was going to watch
feeling that's not
Zack Snyder's Justice League, but then Hobbs and Shaw was on, and I was like, wait a minute, let me go watch Hobbs and Shaw.
They definitely lied. Definitely.
I feel like they're just trying to make two Fast and Furious. It's like the DCEU and the Snyderverse. I feel like you have The Rock and his little family that he's starting with Hobbs and Shaw, and then you have like the original diehard like Vin Diesel and his family in their original franchise.
It's all about family.
That was creepy. That was creepy.
Well, that's how he sounds. I mean, Anthony, why don't you do it? You do it better.
I can't do it at all.
Kirsten, a lot of people say that Anthony looks like The Rock.
He's more like the love child of Dwayne The Rock Johnson than Vin Diesel.
Oh my gosh, no, I can see that. Is that okay to say? I don't.
Yeah,
we say it all the time.
We say it all the time. The Rock isn't watching. We're okay.
Yeah. I now owe him $100 million.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes, it worked. We put you in debt.
We put you in debt. That was the goal of this. Was to put him in debt.
I can retire now.
No, but he really does. Anthony really does resemble The Rock.
And Dave Bautista.
Or Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel. In fact, here's a so ACS over here, Anthony, he wanted to become an actor. And so he put together a little sizzle reel that he wanted to show the executives, and here it is right
now
here.
You have
All I got is my balls and wrap them apart that y'all want me to fall, call and crap. Suffocated, now they're crawling back at some tall and shack, and I'm over
There he is.
I
Man, that's impressive. That's impressive.
The bridge.
He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Do it for us. Do it for us. Show us.
Do it.
Show us
Do
your
it.
guns.
Do the bicep.
Show the guns. Show the guns. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
we need to utilize your body for clicks.
He's so modest.
He's so modest. He will straight up answer the phone when he's at the gym, like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "Oh, are you at the gym or are you in the bathroom?"
You now get ignored when I'm at the gym. You get ignored when you call.
Actually,
yeah, I do YouTube.
A lot of times when I call him at the gym when he's around people, this is what our conversation sounds like right here.
What is your name? I told you it doesn't matter what your name is.
And then I hang up. I'm like, forget it. I gotta go. So, Kirsten, I want to talk to you about a series of tweets that you put out recently, and I fully agree with them. And I'll pull them up right here. Oh, you're welcome.
I gotta say, well, there's an origin to like the tweet thread.
Right.
So, I had tweeted something else originally. I had tweeted like an original example from that tweet thread on March 23rd. And I think it was after the Variety interview with the Warner Media exec, where they had said, we're not going to continue forward. Exactly. Yeah. Right after they said, we're not going to continue forward with any Snyderverse sequels. And then Zack had done an interview with Deadline where he said Warner Brothers considers the 2017 film to be canon. And both of those things are just so upsetting to me right off the bat. And I usually am not a really reactionary person, but I just immediately went and tweeted out, I'd be embarrassed to want this to be canon. And it was 2 different shots that I had stitched together in Photoshop. And the first one was that infamous shot, a reshot from the Joss Whedon version where Barry Allen's The Flash falls on top of Wonder Woman. And then the second shot were 2 stitched together images of Martha Kent and Lois Lane from the 2017 film, where Martha Kent delivers this line, he said that you were the thirstiest young woman that he'd ever met. And then she's like, hungriest, ha ha ha, and she like chuckles. And Amy Adams' face just looks so uncomfortable. And I tweeted out both of those photos without any hashtag attached to them. And I said, I'd be embarrassed to want this to be canon. And it just like, it took off. Like it had over 4,000 likes and over 800 retweets. And I was like, maybe I need to write more about this because, and I just had decided from there that I was going to go back because I knew that there were other moments, other cringy moments in the original film towards women. And I didn't realize until I went back and I was watching the 2 side by side. I just decided I was like, I'm going to go and watch every single scene in the 2017 film that contains women and just see how they're portrayed throughout the entire film to see if I can point out any other things. I thought I was going to have like 5 to 7, and I like came up with like 17 different things. And it was even like, it was mostly crimes against Wonder Woman and Lois Lane.
Yeah, but it was so easy. It was so easy to pull these all out. Before you go forward, let's go ahead and pull it up right now and let's take a look.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, whoops. That was the wrong button. There it is. I actually took it off the stream. So here's how it started. It said, just about every scene with women in 2017's Justice League undermines a woman's power, strength, and agency. And she leads off. That's an article. It says he said that you were the thirstiest young woman. You know what I mean? It's just like, what? It's such an odd statement. I don't even know why you would include that line in a movie.
I mean, it was part of the reshoot, you know? Like,
and it's very obvious because, like, you look at the color grading and how it looks compared to the rest of the film and compared to Zack's work. Like, that scene out of all of them is the most obvious reshoot of all time.
Oh, this scene right here, and then you have the reporter coming in saying like, "Hey, I'm taking over your story, or whatever." He's like, "Oh, so you're saying your source is a woman?" It was just like the stupidest line. It was like, "What? This is such a waste of time." Right. So as the thread goes on, which there's the article right there, and I'll go ahead and tweet that out as well. So this is where you kind of carried on with it. You said changes to Wonder Woman's opening scene in 2017 diminished her power and strength as a demigod, which it totally did. And there was a kind of a breakdown right there. I mean, she took a shot to the head. It's totally different.
She wasn't been hit in the back of the head in the newer film. They added in a scene.
They added that
with her, with her getting hit. Like no man even comes close to her in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I thought that was
throwing guys against the wall. It's totally different. And her hero says, "I don't believe it." And then in the real one, he says, "Wait." Oh, panting. I don't believe it. Yeah. So it's like they changed a lot of things about this. What are you, a believer? And she goes, I don't believe it. Believe it. But they had to go ahead and change the dialogue. I mean, it's insane.
Like I'm one of those people.
Monkeys reference.
I'm one of those people that in the theater, like it's very easy for me to enjoy what I'm watching. But at the same time, when I was watching Justice League back in 2017, even then I was just I heard that line and I was like, oh, that's cringy. That's not good. All right, I'm going to get a lot of crap for liking this universe just for that line alone.
Exactly. And so when we keep moving on, I mean, you can see right here. I mean, look, she got airborne because she can actually fly. And when you're right here, you said, imagine thinking you needed to change this.
Well, I think so many people, if you remember with the 2017 film, so many people, then Wonder Woman came out, and then you had Wonder Woman 1984, where they're like, oh, if she could fly in this film, shouldn't she have flown in Justice League, and then you go and you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there are moments like this where it's like, yeah, she like kind of can fly. You can argue here that she's just jumping high into the sky, but you have like moments later in the film, and this is in the thread later, where I think it's like towards the very end of the thread, so you don't have to go down to it right now. But like, there's that hero shot, the new hero shot in Zack Snyder's film.
Oh, she's clearly flying in that hero shot.
Right, even the shot before that, where she goes to save Batman, and she's slicing apart a parademons.
Yeah,
she has to be flying there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in BVS, when she's on the plane and they're talking about all this stuff going on over in Gotham, and like, how did she get over there? She took a cab. I mean, no, she flew. She had to flew.
No, she jumped or ran. No, she flew
jumped
there. It made a lot of sense. And even here, you're saying the Whedon cut actually added a scene with Wonder Woman getting knocked upside the head. No man ever comes close to touching her in the Snyder cut. It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just, I felt like, and I don't know if this is fact, but as I was watching the entire film, and I know, there was the report that when Joss was doing the reshoots, that Gal Gadot had refused to film that scene with Barry Allen, with Ezra Miller falling on top of her. And then there were reports that like allegedly Joss had, screamed at or yelled at or had some encounter with Gal. And me then having that in my mind, whether or not that's true or not, but it made me reanalyze every single scene that I was going through and finding with Gal Gadot's character. And I was like, it looks like he just said, fine, I'm going to strip your character of every bit of agency, of every bit of strength. And like, we're just going to tear you down then, and we're going to make you look like this in the film. And it was so upsetting going through the film.
It totally is. I mean, even in this picture right here, it says in the Snyder cut, the villain simply says, I don't believe it. As in, he doesn't believe that a woman just single-handedly stopped his men without taking a hit. In response, Anna says, believe it, before annihilating him.
Yeah.
Like it's happening, you jerk.
Yeah, exactly. but it gives her more strength as well, saying, believe it, because I'm about to whoop your ass. And the other one's totally different.
Did anyone understand what it meant when she originally said a believer in the original cut?
I tried to think back to Wonder Woman, and I was like, maybe she said something about believing, but like, I don't. If anything, like that's at best a very vague and stupid reference.
Mine was a monkeys reference, so I was just like, it's probably monkeys.
Yeah, I'm a believer. So when he said, or when she said, I'm a believer, the only thing I think of is that she's a believer in hope. But then I was like, okay, is this because Superman's going to come back later? It was just a weird change.
Was it believer or belieber?
Like Justin Bieber.
Oh, God.
Justin Bieber.
I think that somehow makes it worse.
It makes it worse. And this one I liked a lot too, Kirsten, when you said Steppenwolf's a giant creep in 2017.
Liam Neeson.
It seems obsessed with conquering Amazons. And this is the part that I don't understand. And I don't know if these were throwaway lines or if they had him actually re-record this dialogue when he's telling the Amazons, "You will all love me." Like what? Like I don't understand. Like where's all this coming from?
Yeah,
Allie.
So much of that is just so cringy. It's not even like so many people pointed out this line with the like, "You will love me, you all will." But then even when you're watching the scene before that, when the Queen is running away. And he's going like, yes, run, as if like he's like turned on by
I'm really
running
into
away.
this. I don't know how you're running from me.
There's just this whole
Mount your steed.
There's this whole weird sexually charged energy about 2017 Steppenwolf that just
go into a gallop.
To be there.
Go
It's
into
really
a gallop.
gross.
Mount the horse. It's funny because like in the theatrical cut, he says that weird creepy line and then she runs away, right? Like she's afraid. But in Zack Snyder's Justice League, she gets the mother box and all you see is Steppenwolf going like, oh, like all pissed off, throwing the Amazons around.
Right. What does she do? The Amazons are boss.
Exactly. But what does she do? She turns around, she goes off the wall and then stabs that one parademon, goes to help her friend. Her friend says, hey, seal it. You have to do it. You know what I mean? Honor us. And so then she goes. And then not only that, but she saves another Amazon from the parademon. And then the theatrical cut, that obviously did not happen. Instead, they made him a creep. That's like I've said before, he's a creep, and his design is straight.
Weirdo.
He's a weirdo, and his design is straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
doing here?
I mean, he looks like he belongs with these guys. I'm going to say it again. He looks straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well,
So
it's so funny that I believe it was Zach had said that Warner Brothers deemed his original vision for Steppenwolf to be too scary and too dark. Yet you see so many memes right now about how like the new Steppenwolf, he has like those eyes in that one scene where like I don't know if you've seen this, but there are people who have like put a cat head, like they've replaced Steppenwolf, new Steppenwolf's head with a cat.
yeah, I've seen
Like,
that.
I just want to go home.
I just want to go home. That's what it says too.
He's just the guy's not accepted by the villains or by the heroes. Honestly, like I kind of wish that the Justice League just had a conversation with Steppenwolf because they probably could have got him onto the good guy's side.
They could have turned him.
I think so. Like
They're
You
like,
mean
hey,
you love me?
They're like,
You all will?
if you join our side, Steppy, you can live with us.
you don't have to destroy 50,000 worlds in order to go back home.
You can live here rent free.
Will you still call me the thorny fucker?
Golly.
That's
Snyder Cut's-
what Zach called him.
Spiky.
Spiky.
Okay, Spiky,
Spiky,
Thorny, whatever.
Spiky.
Spiky, Thorny.
It's
I
spiky.
call him.
What-
I call him
what-
Sad
why
Boy.
would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says. She goes on to say the Snyder Cut's resident sad boy Steppenwolf. That guy. That guy just wants to please his corporate overlords and prove himself worthy. He's just there for a box.
Right.
But
He
I mean,
just
he
wants to
has
be a
much
villain.
more purpose in this
Yeah.
movie. And we were talking about this. Was it like last week? I want to say that, and Dawson was there as well when we were talking about how in this scene here he comes across as this big brooding like monster, just killing people and just throwing horses and Amazons around. He's a beast. But then later on, when you see him talking to Steppenwolf, I mean, talking to Darkseid, his character completely changes, and all of a sudden now he's not as strong as his master is, and you see that he's a weaker character inside. And so I liked that how it changed the look of his character and the progression of his character as well. It just adds layers and layers of depth to to his character.
Yeah, there were no levels of depth to his character in the original.
No,
other than
he
being
lacked
a
that
weirdo
greatly.
creep who wanted to conquer the Amazons. And at least in the new film, you get this sense that he's when he's with the Amazons, he's basically like, let me pretend that I'm this like big bad guy that like everyone thinks that I really am. And then as soon as he has a conversation with Darkseid, you like see that totally stripped away. And he's like, okay, I'm actually not a level A bad guy at all. I'm like a level C bad guy, just trying to get up, work the ranks of being a top-notch villain, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, but when you compare the two, I mean, it's like night and day.
Oh yeah.
And then even if you see, do I have the other one where he doesn't have his spikes? I don't think I do. No, I used to have one where it had Steppenwolf with no spikes on next to like the old Steppenwolf, and he still looked more menacing. But I mean, even there you can see that. I mean, it's a huge difference. So in the next tweet you wrote, "I'm still just baffled by why this Whedon reshoot was needed at all." Yeah, I agree. I don't know why this scene had to be added. I guess it's because the scene they shot where it shows her turning into Martian Manhunter, they didn't know how to work that back in. So they're like, "Oh, let's just redo the whole scene."
They didn't shoot that. They didn't shoot the scene with Harry until after he came back to the film and for the Snyder Cut. He didn't film that until this last year.
Right.
So the Martha and Lois interaction was filmed, but not here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they needed to film it because Joss decided that he wasn't going to let Lois grieve at home and not work at the Daily Planet, and he decided no, she has to go back to work, but she's not going to be an investigative reporter. We're going to strip her of that, not like strip her of that title, but we're just going to say you can work on fluff pieces instead for right now.
Yeah, because she's like, yeah, I can do that. I can come back to work and work on fluff pieces, but anything else you want me to do? No, I can't. I'm not strong enough. And we'll actually get to that as well. Yeah, that wig on Amy Adams was awful. Yeah, it's not very good. And so then as it goes on, there are so many crimes against Lois in the 2017 film. First, she's been stripped of her duties as an investigative reporter and put on puff piece duty, something she claims to be perfectly happy with. I said duty. I really did.
You did.
Diane Lane doesn't buy that one. She doesn't buy that. And here's that guy right here. This guy.
Like,
Who
what
was
was
your
the purpose of that?
I don't know. You know what? This scene right here, when she interacts with him,
Well,
I felt like I was watching a
he's
TV
the,
show.
He's the person. Okay, so they cut out Ryan Choi, and they were like, "Well,
We got
let's just put somebody
Oh
else
my
in there."
God.
Yeah, there you go. So it was just somebody else, so that nobody can complain. So that this is Ryan Choi, but he doesn't have the name.
Oh,
Yeah. You can feel her smiling through the pain.
I gotta apologize. I literally just took a screenshot of the picture in my Photoshop. That's why.
Oh, yeah, I know the cursor.
That's why the cursor is over her mouth.
Like, that's an interesting lip piercing.
She's like, "Shh."
That part was cut from the movie. That's Ryan Choi's replacement. It's Nightwing.
Oh no!
Yeah, this scene just pissed me off. You know, it pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
And this goes on for quite a while. I mean,
Yeah.
you did almost the entire movie, and this is a long segment.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, even this too. Let's not forget. In 2017, the film added scenes of Wonder Woman's butt and front and center in the frame.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, did we really need that? But it just shows how much.
Like, she's an
they
attractive
changed
woman.
it.
We have to film her butt. That's what we have to do.
They're like,
you have to establish her
You're
attractiveness.
probably not paying attention anymore, so we're gonna throw this in your face.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
And here's that scene right
Um,
there. The Flash Aquaman falls on Wonder Woman on her chest in the original film. Snyder Cut doesn't bother her with this. It's not even in the movie at all.
Well, Josh
Alex-
said that he would have like lit the film on fire. I think if he used any shot that
Yeah,
wasn't.
exactly.
Oh
his.
yeah.
Yep.
So that wasn't happening.
So Allie, let me ask you. I mean, when you saw these scenes, and then I don't know if you've seen this thread or not. I mean, how does this resonate with you? I mean, this is. I mean, to me, the sexual jokes they threw in this movie were just over the top. It was over the top stupid.
Yeah, I do remember seeing the original tweet that Krista mentioned about being embarrassed to want this as canon. And I mean, when I saw all these, I was like, it was very obvious to me what they're trying to do. You know, add that type of
Oh, that's a good one.
over the top humor, you know, just force the jokes. It was super obvious. And it was, I mean, especially with like what you guys are talking about right now with the Wonder Woman butt shots, that was also pretty obvious to me too, because Zach doesn't, I mean, he has never, I mean, in BBS, we don't see stuff like that. Even though he didn't direct the Wonder Woman origin story movie, even though he didn't direct that, we don't see anything like that either. And I know it's a female director, but still, like, you have all these, you know, I kind of hated the comparison between like a man's lens and a woman's lens with Patty Jenkins portraying the Amazons and then Zack Snyder, because to me, they were very much on the same page as far as like showing them as powerful and strong and not sexualizing them like at all. I mean, you could easily do that with all these, you know, beautiful women, but I never got that at all from BVS with Wonder Woman. Like I said, the Wonder Woman movie, but then this one is just like, yeah, it's all there. And then also what pissed me off too, we talked about this the other day, was Bruce being a jerk to her for like no reason.
Yeah.
I would
Did
never.
Steve
I don't
Trevor
ever
tell
underst-
you that?
Yeah,
it was
I
just
don't
that whole
understand
scene.
that. Like,
Yeah,
there was no reason to do that. You
I
know,
agree.
like at all. It's like he wouldn't say that. Like, why? What would be the purpose for saying that? Is he jealous? Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, all of that was just super obvious. And then when Gal came out and said, or when Nate came out somehow, and you know, it was said that she refused to film that scene, I was like, good for her. You know, like I'm happy that she refused to film that, because it's just obviously it's a ripoff from Age of Ultron.
Yeah, but you can
it's
tell
just-
right here that's not even her. See how she's not even looking at the camera?
It's their stunt
They had to.
It's a stunt table.
I feel bad for her body double, you know, and Ezra, that they were even put in those situations, and Lois, the thirsty. It was just like, you can actually. I know that okay, they probably wanted her to look uncomfortable because Martha said that, but like she actually looked uncomfortable.
Yeah, she
Not
actually
just
looked like,
acting
why am I reading these lines? This is.
She didn't have to act for that
insulting.
scene. That was just genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm disgusted in this.
There was the other
Yeah.
thing. There's another thing that came out today. I saw it this morning. I was really busy at work, but I caught this. Yo, with the Superman Wonder Woman headbutt scene, There's like
Okay, and that I am going to
Yeah,
play.
moaning.
That I am going to play.
Yeah.
I have
People
right here.
message. Yeah, people message
Okay,
me
so
that.
so this is
Yeah,
it right
dude.
here. I know the chat's been talking about this as well. I kind of want to get through that other thread, but let's take a look at this because it's just way over the top.
yeah.
Let me add audio and then let's take a look. It's gross. And this is what we mean about what Joss Whedon did, and this is which gives more evidence towards what Ray Fisher has been saying. So let's take a look. Oh, wait, can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Let me start over again real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Whoa.
pretty apparent.
Very
Listen,
obvious. Wow.
Wow. I never noticed that. That is disturbing.
Yeah, it is. And then when I saw it this morning, I was like, "Yo, wait a minute." What? I watched it several times.
Yeah.
People have been pointing out even like more things to me after that thread.
Mhm.
There was one other tiny thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I'd have to go back and I haven't had time to go back and check this one, but it feels right to me. Where when Bruce Wayne first enters the Flash's hideout, I guess that there's a screen in the background
Yes.
that
Or had
someone
K-pop.
that has like women on it.
yeah,
And then-
it's a K-pop video of these girls dancing, as
Yeah.
opposed to just having the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right.
skull.
Yeah. And I was just like, wasn't even looking for that because that wasn't even a scene with
Like,
two
that's such a
women.
pointless change.
It is.
Right.
It is.
But Eric
Like,
has
what
a
can we
point.
put there? A skull? No, not a skull. There's kids watching this. Let's put some ladies on there dancing.
Yeah, but we'll
They
make
don't
it
even know
K-pop.
what the human skeletal system
We
looks
got rid of
like.
Ryan Choi. Let's make it a K-pop. You know what I mean? It's a Korean pop.
It's a wrap.
But here, I mean, Eric has a good point. Her moans sound sexual in Justice League,
Mhm.
and
They
you know,
do.
Mhm.
it's just and a lot of times, like I don't like talking about this kind of stuff on my show, but like this was so. At the end of the day, it's so appalling, and I felt like this is. I really want to talk. I really want to point this out because it's gross, is what it is.
It's offensive.
It's offensive. It totally is.
The whole movie, everything they did to that movie is
Now, kudos
offensive.
to whoever found that out because I never noticed that until I saw that.
Oh, I
video.
know. I mean, yeah. Thanks to whoever's
That
putting
was
these
Alex
things
Lobo.
out because it's awesome to see.
Okay, yeah.
Because I mean, that video is embedded in his
And here.
tweet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. I Josh Whedon second. Yeah, Alex shouts out.
Yeah,
Hey,
Alex
yo,
Lobo's
yeah,
a man, dude.
Yeah, what's up?
Geek Lograd.
What?
That's his name.
That's-
His handle.
Oh yeah, Geek Lograd.
Yeah.
So this is the next scene. She says Whedon's cut doesn't acknowledge that Wonder Woman is smart enough to disarm Bruce Wayne's security system with a simple line. The Snyder Cut fixes that. And what line are we talking about? Here it is right here. He goes, I paid millions of dollars for this building security. She goes, yeah, it looked expensive. So I guess she just like broke it. And then he's all, I paid millions of dollars.
That's what it is.
Well, this line here, and I get it. It took her a minute to disable it, but I didn't mind either one. Either one could have worked. for
But
me.
I get where Kirsten's coming from though, is that it doesn't give her any credit for even disarming it. It just says, she just ripped the door open.
Mhm.
It's just kind of like, but why make that change? Why take the time?
Right.
to make
There's
that
no
change.
point in that, other than maybe a simple, I guess it was for a joke. But I mean, either one.
What's up,
I mean, I didn't mind that compared to the groans.
They needed to cut that to get more butt shots.
Ah!
Yeah. Let her just say
They're
one
like,
line, so
can we have a little less dialogue and a little more wonder butt?
A little more
Thank
Wonder
you.
Butt. There it is. And then the next one, this is a good one too. It says Whedon cut altered Wonder Woman's line and opted for some glam shot of Diana. So this is the difference here. He goes, "This one is mine," and she says, "You overestimate yourself." And instead he goes, "This one will be mine. I belong to no one."
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Why
that's
would
what
you
I'm
not
saying.
want that line? You know?
But they still went to those lengths to change even that line right there. And why would you not want that? I mean,
Yeah, because
it's
his line of
mind-blowing.
dialogue is the same. Well,
Right.
very similar.
Pretty
very
similar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So her response, I prefer, Zach's.
Yeah, and Barcy, I agree. They want this shit to be canon. Yeah, freaking
Yeah, so,
right,
and
dude.
that's the whole point. Yeah, that was basically my whole point of going and pointing all of this out.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, like, obviously this scene here is complete nonsense. The Diana butt shot. I'm not even gonna pull it up because it's just. And then I like how you go. I wish we were done, but we're not. Wonder Woman's lasso was used against her as a gag for Aquaman to call her gorgeous.
Yeah.
He goes, and fierce and strong and it's like what?
I forgot about that. This movie's ridiculous. Oh man.
But still,
but the thing about that scene, and I say this in the next tweet, but like you're telling me that someone who is like 5,000 years old, she's a museum curator, she's going to let something as important as her lasso like just lie around anywhere.
Yeah.
She's like, where's my lasso at? Nah, I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Like what?
Well, and another thing too is that in the theatrical cut, when she when she charges at Steppenwolf and then knocks him into the next room, and she uses her lasso and swings up on top of the little landing area, she puts her lasso away and then pulls out her shield like a soldier.
Yeah, I made a gift.
They cut all that out.
I made a gift of that shit and put it out there this morning.
That scene, I
one little clip.
I love that clip of how she pulls her lasso in, puts it away, and then rips her shield forward, like a soldier. It's just like, wow, that was badass. And no,
John
of course,
John in the comments is right. The lasso's your car keys.
Yeah, the lasso's like your car keys. Exactly. And Rash has a good point too. It's like, why would a woman leave her gear laying around? She's like, oh man, I don't even know where my lasso's at. Oh, there it is, because you're talking funny. It's just, and so as we keep going here, Whedon's cut grounds Wonder Woman on the sidelines for most of the final battle. Yeah, and the Snyder Cut hints that she could fly, because I mean, look, she's I wouldn't say she's jumping, I'd say she's flying. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think she's flying.
Anthony?
She's flying.
Oh, there you
go. She's flying.
I'm so invested right now.
It's so weird too, because with her doing that, Aquaman can't do either. Just
Aquaman's clearly jumping. He's clearly jumping.
Yeah.
And then of course he jumps over that building. He lands on the car, and then that's when the next scene continues on. So that makes sense. The rest of them, those who flew off, and the Flash probably ran around it and really, really fast. But
yeah, the Flash can't fly.
He can't fly. He can fly, but not that kind of flying. He can run really fast.
She's falling with style. I love the Disney.
She's falling with style. And everyone for the most part agrees she's flying at this point. And they've established that in Wonder Woman 84. Aquaman jumps. There you go, Andy.
They established that in Wonder Woman 84? Where was that at?
What?
The Aquaman jumps.
No, I say they
Aquaman jumps in Wonder Woman 84. Everybody knows this. Come on,
everybody knows this. Just like how Ryan got you with Jon Stewart is in BVS. Like, Jon Stewart, the host of the Daily Show.
Jon Stewart is in BVS. I'm not lying.
He sucked. Oh my god. He said that line and Dawson got so he was like, what are you talking about? Like it took like 2 minutes for him to like get through that, and then finally he dropped the punchline. It was like, oh god, it's so bad.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Good job.
He was always intended to be in this universe, and he was.
So Wonder Woman is denied her right to finish off the villain in the theatrical cut.
And you know what drives me nuts? Like you have displayed here, they use her BA decapitating shot to simply destroy his weapon. It's like, really? What
I mean, you're saying right here when she broke his axe, he wasn't like smart enough to be like, oh, and just whack her with the handle or like use his fist. He's just like, huh? He just stares at it like, no,
he's like, my
happening. He was like in shock. I was like, what's happening right now?
It's like if that's what they were gonna do to defeat him, they could have done that a long time ago. Like you wouldn't have to save that for the final battle.
Exactly.
It was anticlimactic. They used that awesome shot of her, like Dawson said, to really, I mean, no, she could do much more than that. Yeah.
They gave him the old Lion King Scar ending with his hyenas. His parademons.
Oh, they
That's exactly
right?
That's
Oh my
it's so
god!
funny that you said that because my
God.
kids were watching Lion King the other day, and I told my husband, I was like, "That's what they did with Steppenwolf and the parademons." I can't believe that's so funny. You just said that. I told my husband that recently when my kids were watching Lion King.
Well, I mean,
I've watched that
they
movie
did the same thing with Hades
That's
in the
hilarious.
Hercules movie, Disney Hercules movie. He
Yeah,
got
it's true.
pulled down. They did the same thing to
Although that movie did it much better.
what was it? Amhotep in The
Emotep.
Mummy Returns.
Emotep.
Oh, the Mummy?
Emotep.
Yeah.
In The Mummy Returns.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, so it's been done, guys.
It's been done. And Kirsten, I know you have to go soon, but let's just get through this real quick. Do you have a few more minutes with us?
Yeah, let's keep it going. This
Okay,
is
let's
fun.
keep it going. Let's keep it going. Okay. So,
Let's go.
let's go.
Let's see those fire emojis.
Yeah, fire emojis in the chat.
Fire.
What were you gonna say?
Go.
Before you so rudely interrupted her.
I know,
What?
right?
No,
Wow, what a
no,
host.
I was gonna do the sirens where people go like, "Mom, mom, mom, mom."
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's
so
pretty
as this
good.
goes
Well
on,
synchronized, everyone.
It was,
I
it
know
was,
well
it was.
synchronized.
Good effort.
There are a few more moments that I didn't list here. Thanks for taking time to read this. It's like the very end of it. Like, oh. but definitely take a look at this. I mean, she brings out a lot of good points on how they just like totally bash these female characters. And the studio let this happen. And I think that when you look back to what Ray Fisher has been saying, you know, they were an accomplice in letting this kind of behavior take place. And proof of that, you know, as I say, proof is in the pudding. I mean, you can see it.
I like pudding.
I like it too. I like butterscotch.
How did I
myself.
know you were going to say
Butterscotch
that?
pudding?
I like it. It's good. Anyway,
Well, I mean,
you can see.
You're,
I mean,
you're gonna love Werther's.
Werther's. Werther's original.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
Netscape it.
this was the one too. It's like
Netscape it.
Netscape it.
I told you I was listening.
She was listening. She
You
was
know,
listening.
that's comedy. You bring it back.
Yeah.
I was gonna Netscape it, or I was gonna use Lycos to look it up. So that's getting even older.
And then you got to share it, so just put it up on your MySpace.
Yeah, my MySpace, on my instant messenger.
On my flip phone.
Oh, what's up, Bell?
Your
Well,
Motorola
what's
Razor.
good?
Oh, somebody just paged me. Oh, what?
I know. John says we want Kirsten a regular here.
they said hello.
Oh, you know
Thanks,
what?
Tom.
And look, see, you ask the chat to do something, and they always follow through. See, they're dropping fire. Fire
Yeah,
for
they
Kirsten for
are.
being here.
That's awesome.
Fire.
Fire, more fire, fire.
Fire.
Prakash, I'm not going to play the clip. He sent me a clip of Jeremy Johns talking about Steppenwolf.
What did he say? What did he say about it?
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
what did he say? I didn't see that.
Let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Okay.
Oh,
let's
so you
watch
are going to play the clip.
well, now that I brought it up, I might as well. Hold on. Oh, I'm in the wrong
Oh,
one.
you should play all these clips.
You lied.
Yeah.
You lie. All right, this is the one, right? Prakash, this is the one. Okay, here we go.
He answered yes. That
Oh, I think I know which one he's talking about. Oh God.
Wait, here we go.
Justice League, he flexes and breaks the arrows in his armor and his muscles, just flips horses. I'm a badass. In the Justice League, he's all like, Mother, yes, Mother, we will do it, Mother. I do it for you. Please, Mother, kiss it. Just the tip.
Oh no!
That guy really wants to fuck his mother's box. I'd forgotten. Like it.
He said
Jeremy Jans is awesome.
Wow.
Oh man, that was
I
it's
wasn't
true, though.
expecting that.
He keeps going.
yeah, Jeremy Johns keeps going, but in that clip it ends right there. But no, there was a lot of
Does
like
he
the
ever
mother
finish?
lines, which was like really weird, and I like that Kirsten really pointed out the fact that they made him into a creep. You know, they said, "Oh, that's the spiky Steppenwolf. That's too scary. Let's go with this version of Steppenwolf." But in turn, psychologically, they made him a creep. Psychologically, they made him like a stalker
different
you
type
would
of
see on like
scary.
Forensic Files.
Yeah.
I mean, who committed a murder. You know, like he's just a weird guy.
It's
And
it's like in Zack Snyder's Justice League, they're like, oh my god, killing me, scary, and then it's like in the Justice League, it's like, oh my god, somebody arrest that guy.
Somebody put him in jail, you know.
No.
Keep him away from the children.
Get away. He's just a weirdo, and but still, you know, they felt like, yeah, that's how we want to go. I like how his horns have like a little bit of red on them.
Ice cream? I have some in my van.
Would you like some coffee crystals?
It makes me feel even worse about Steppenwolf. Like this poor guy. I mean, like,
I just happen to have a bachelor.
What they turned him into? I mean, it's just like, man,
that line.
He's just trying to get home.
That line when he says Desaad.
Butterscotch pudding.
That line when he looks at Desaad and kind of like his lips start to quiver a little bit. And he's just like Desaad. And it's like, oh man,
yes,
I feel for you, dude.
I feel for you, yeah, mother. I know, and all that the mother, it just got overboard. I mean, when did they? I mean, that's what I understand. It's like they didn't realize at one point, like, hey, maybe we should change that line. You're using it kind of a lot. John's like, no,
great.
It's fire. I love this.
It's fire.
Boy, men love their mothers. Like, okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, it just got awkward. And they're like, let's just go. Let's go.
I'm kind of wondering, was it just me, or every time that you heard him yell out "mother" in the 2017 cut, I immediately went to Martha. Like every time that Martha was yelled out in BVS,
I was just
I was having PTSD.
I was just waiting for him to start singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Mama. All right.
Okay,
that was
just kill the Amazon.
There's not even blood on my axe, but I'm going to tell Wonder Woman
all
that
the horses are dead all around. You know, those poor horses took a beating in Zack Snyder Justice League. But I loved how it demonstrated his power, that his sheer brute strength. I mean, and that's what I like so much about Zack Snyder Justice League, is that there were so many dynamics of his character that it highlighted. While in Justice League, it didn't highlight much of anything but the fact that he's a creep.
Yeah.
Copyright.
He even Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's Justice League, like as soon as he sees Wonder Woman when they go to the tunnel to try to, you know, get the scientist or whatever, he immediately knows that she's different from the rest of the Amazons.
Yeah,
and he says it.
does.
He's like,
He
you know,
does.
you're an Amazon, Amazon, but you know, not like your sisters. You're stronger, whatever.
Yeah. Then later on, he says you have the blood of the old gods in you.
Yeah, he figures it out. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I know why you're so powerful.
It's like power recognizes power. You don't even get that.
Exactly. but he says it though.
Game
He was
recognizes
like,
game.
A god recognizes a god.
yeah, he's like, the others
mad respect.
stronger, you know. Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, like I can't take you
That
lightly.
hits me where I live.
And he says that she could have protected the Amazons from him. So he's like, I mean, I know he's trying to like poke at her, like he's trying to push her, get her
push her button.
upset. Yeah,
he did
But,
throw
like,
that in her face.
he knows that she's giving him a fight. So he's like, sadly you could have protected them from me. You know, like
she could have
given him a fight.
And just because the audience is asking for it, because I said the word Justice League, this is what usually follows.
Why did you say that name?
So, yeah, God, Hegra is not even Steppy's mother; it's his sister.
Ooh,
that's even stranger.
That's makes it more gross somehow.
Yeah,
the 2017 cut is officially the worst botch job ever. Yeah.
Yep.
On the show Botched, they should just feature that movie. Be like, man, this is really bad. Mother, kiss it.
Oh gosh.
Okay, now my question.
Why I think that the 2017 movie is still viable. It's still needed because you need that black and white, yin and yang, good and bad. You know, I mean, you need to have that comparison to say, this is what
you don't ever do
houses
again.
and studios have been doing to movies for years.
Yeah,
this is just highlighted. We're just able to see this. The curtain has been pulled back a little bit. There's plenty of other movies out there that I'm sure have gotten the same or equal or worse.
What is
treatment.
behind curtain number 1? It's Mother.
Ryan, can you read this comment, please?
Can you read?
Yes,
can
I
you read
can.
for us,
Thank
please?
Now, my question: how his mama was the queen? Did the box show him?
No, hold on, wait a minute. Now my question: How
he know his
Now
mama
my
was the
question:
queen?
how he was his mama was the queen?
You're
Did
skipping
the
a word,
box show
Ryan.
You're skipping
Yeah.
a line. A word.
Yeah, what the?
All right, you're fired.
Yeah.
Now my
Why do
question,
you always ask him to read? Like,
because he's
that's what
funny. Because he's funny.
I'm not. How dare you?
Oh, please, okay, please, Dawson, read this.
All right, go ahead, Dawson. Go.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna play a
That would
little
have been
clip.
perfect fucking. That's when you play that clip.
Exactly. Why do you think I hesitated?
That's why he
That's
didn't
what
say
gets
it.
so funny.
That's why he didn't say it. Okay,
Okay.
you're not gonna read it, are you?
He's not
Who's he,
gonna read
is he
it.
talking about? Is he
We
talking
can all
about
see the
Hippolyta?
question, but I don't know the answer.
Is he
I don't know
talking
the
about how did
answer.
he know Hippolyta was the queen?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Probably because maybe her headdress or whatever. I mean, he did see her in the thing before they like closed it off and buried it in the sea. Way she stood out when he drops down in there and he looks around and he says those when he's talking about defenders or whatever. She totally stands out.
Yeah, she's obviously the leader.
Yeah, she told her headdress is higher. She's and when he says I'm here to bathe, she's like Amazon.
She's the one that responds.
mascara.
Yeah.
Show him your fear. So yes, he that's pretty much.
So he deduces from that. Yes.
Well, the question says his, not her.
I think he.
I just think he mistyped.
I think we're overanalyzing the comment.
Okay.
No, but I mean, I think he was asking how did he know because he does. Well, if you're watching Justice League, you can question him coming up to her saying, "Noble Queen, why do you fight?" Like But in this one, she is very, very clearly the leader in that scene inside of the.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And Eric's comment right here where he says, "Yeah, I wish we'd gotten the Snyder version in 2017. I'm just impatient for more of Henry and Amy." And Eric is a huge fan of Amy Adams, so that would totally make sense.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
And Dawson, I know you have to go soon, so before you go, I just want to say thank you for jumping on the show and being a part of the panel.
Of course, I always love giving you some of my clout.
Okay, so he had to leave now. All right, Dawson, real quick, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at NIMW32.
No, that's too obvious.
Anthony's just like begging for it now.
I know he is. He's like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?
Hey, so where can they find you?
It's too late now.
We talked over you.
It's way too late. Okay, so Twitter and Instagram, NIMW32, and YouTube, Nerdy Many Ways, my name down below, and Vero at Dawson Weedrick.
All right.
Wow, look at you. You didn't play the clip. I'm proud of
No,
you.
I can't do it every time, and then it just gets it gets redundant.
I know. We got on to him about that.
Okay, so real quick, there's a clip here that Rasha Taylor just sent to me that I want to show you guys. It's like an animated version of Steppenwolf, which I thought was really cool. So let me turn the sound on for that.
Okay, I'll watch this and I'll dip.
All right, let's take a look. Okay, there it is right there. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
dope.
short. It is. It's like him. That moment right before Wonder Woman takes his ass through that wall. Like it's that. Where's more of this?
Where's
That's
more
dope.
of that?
Yes.
That is dope.
It's like
And
the
with that,
animated series,
It reminds
Yeah,
me
that I
of
will take my leave.
the
Benson's.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Dawson's gone. He's like, oh, just dipped out. Okay, ACS. The question is why Step was able to talk to Diana about your mother.
Oh, how does he know at that time when he's there with Diana? How does he know that Hippolyta was her mom?
I think it's just assumed at that point,
We've all heard the story.
Yeah. I mean,
He
he's a
wants
to
young
watch
guy.
the movie.
He watched the history lesson.
He
He's like,
watched the
"Yo,
movie.
Did you,
Sure he
did
has
you not
that
see that
knowledge,
part
though.
where Hippolyta sat down when Diana was little in bed? She pulled out the book and I don't know.
Maybe just, they know about the Amazons. They know about the old gods. Like, he probably just.
I would think that they have maybe like a dossier of these, people and stuff. They don't just
a
come on the
dossier?
planet.
A dossier?
Yeah. They've got some intel.
They know about the Kryptonians. Like, they know about all these races.
They know about stuff.
So
They're
he
not
probably
coming
has
ignorant to the what is this
Chester.
place that I've? Who are you and why do I care? They know.
But no, I mean, look, overall, the reception for this movie has been very, very positive and has been over the top, and it's been great. And one of the comments I've been making a lot is that a lot of the white checkmark people on Twitter have been very supportive of it. Kirsten is also one part of that white checkmark army, and she's also been very supportive of this movie as well. You enjoyed it. I know you watched it with your brother as well. Is that right?
That's correct. I was a little upset with him because he didn't want to watch it with me early.
Oh.
I was like, and he was like, "No, we already picked the day," and I was like, but yeah, he absolutely.
He was like, "Stick to your guns."
I mean, that's kind of just how he is. He's set in his ways. He's like, "We made plans for like this day. That's when we're gonna do it." And I was like, "But we can watch it almost 2 weeks early." And he was like, "No, it's okay. Like I've waited this long. I'll just wait." But anyway, yeah, I watched it and I immediately was like, "This is what we should have had." I mean, obviously, this is what we never would have had in 2017.
Right.
I spoke with Harry Lennox about it, and he had said to me, he was like, "We wouldn't have gotten this movie, unfortunately, if events didn't unfold the way that they unfolded." And he hopes that there will be more. He was very pro. I asked him about the Restore the Snyderverse hashtag 2 days before the movie was released on HBO Max, and he was already like all for the hashtag.
There you
So
go.
early adopter.
Yeah.
And speaking of the hashtag, and this is something that we touched on earlier, was that the numbers don't lie. And so some of the numbers that we got today was HBO Max recorded an 8.9% jump in users and a 64% increase in HBO Max downloads following the release of a hashtag the Snyder Cut or Zack Snyder Justice League. And those numbers don't lie. I mean, it speaks volumes about how the fans feel about this movie. They're downloading the app, they're subscribing to HBO Max, and so we were talking earlier with Matt Jarbro, and I firmly believe a month from now we will get an answer on what direction they're going to go with the Snyderverse coming from HBO Max.
Yeah.
4:30. That's the day, because that's the AT&T shareholders meeting. Like, that you're going to have people asking, you can have Ann Sarnoff say whatever she wants to, but there are people higher up.
Right. They'll have their quarterly numbers by the 22nd. That's what Matt was saying. And so, 4:30 is if they convene that day, they're in talks right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about it. They're having meetings. So, I mean, we're definitely going to have an answer by then.
As much as I've been saying how, that's not how you run a company when it comes to like WB and how they're treating this property. There's no question that there are meetings being held internally about what their plans are with the Snyderverse. I mean, Anthony, what do you think? Do you think that this is simply going to go away, the Snyderverse, or do you think that the HBO Max Warner Media will push forward and restore the Snyderverse?
I think they will. They'd be fucking stupid not to. Besides, and at the lowest level of this is how much money they can make off of it. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw something so positively received in the first week of its release. I've seen movies that have been like, praised or whatever, but not like this. This is totally different. This is not everybody
not united.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Ali, what about you? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We're done here.
It's been way too positively received for it to just go away. So, yeah.
And what's shocking is that, of course, another movie came out on HBO Max and immediately got greenlit for a sequel. And you know what I'm talking about, right? But we won't go.
We're talking about Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. There we go. Ali, what do you think? Do you think that we will see the Snyderverse continue on HBO Max?
I hope so. I mean, I don't see how they could just I'm not gonna say WB, but like Warner Media, AT&T, Jason Keeler, I don't see how they could see the response and then just act like it's like there's no reason to go forward with it. I mean, there's clearly an audience for it outside the Snyder fan base. At first it was like, the Snyder Cut fan base, we started, release the Snyder Cut. Some people hopped on board when they, whatever. But now that the movie's here, and all these people, it's reached a lot more people beyond just the Snyder Cut fandom, and it's like really shown. All you have to, you don't have to be part of like their, you know, PR or media, whatever, you know, people that get all those analytics. You don't have to be a part of that. All you have to do is go look and like see that it's way beyond the Snyder Cut fandom now. And people with, I mean, people with audiences, people that work in, I mean, Hollywood, entertainment, sports, different types of media. I mean, it's really blown up. I don't see how they could just ignore that. And they invested a decent amount of money into him finishing the film. So I don't see how they would just kind of like throw that money at it and then be like, oh, well, you know, just that one movie, that's it. You know, I don't know. I
don't think that they just did it out of a sort of kind gesture. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, you know, I heard you were wronged and you had a personal tragedy in your life. Why don't we give you just $70 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
And then please, you know, just kind of walk away because we want it to be done.
And we know we have great actors like, you know, Ben Affleck and Amy Adams and Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot and, you know, all these. I know they're all attached to the story, but we want to move in a much cheaper, different direction. You know, it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Do you know what Michael Keaton's doing? Is he available?
Plus, they've seen what WB put out in 2017. Like, they had their chance to try to go the funnier, lighter, whatever route. They did it. Like, they put out there what they chose. It was intentional what they chose to put out there. They knew what Zach had. They knew what Joss Whedon did to it. They chose to put his out there knowing that it was a POS, as we've heard from an anonymous executive. They knew that it was bad. You know, like they knew that they were putting something out that was bad.
There's no way they couldn't have known.
They chose to anyway. It's like, how could, I mean, yeah. So everyone has seen what they chose, what they tried to do. It failed. It didn't get critically, you know, praised. It didn't make a good amount of money.
Not like this one is.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen this type of reception on social media for a movie. I've never seen it before. I was expecting to be a large number of people who were going to be supporting it, and a large number who would be objective to it, who would say, "Oh, it wasn't that good." Oh, no. But no, it's across the board. Even the ones who are not supporters of Zach's work or even the Snyder Cut movement,
I'm going back to watching BBS.
Yeah, I mean, they're even saying like, "Yeah, I like this movie. It was really good."
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have a hard time going back and trying to scrutinize the movie, this new release, you know, and you know, sort of create that narrative of like how horrible it is. Like there are a few people, you know, but they're in the nicks and the corners and stuff like that. But they're not out, you know, in the public, you know, and in the mainstream, like really hating on this thing. So
yeah.
And then, do you want to answer this question, Ryan?
Yeah, no. Okay, so Billy Crudup, right? You think they will that if they restore the Snyderverse, we get Papa Flash back to reprise his role. We need Billy back. So I believe that we see Billy again. Is, you know, it's definitely going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 or 3 if his character is needed. And probably in Zack Snyder's Justice League 3, just sort of like round that off. As far as being in the Flash movie, I think they're going ahead with Livingston. I think that if Warner Brothers is going to stick to their guns and only want to play in their sandbox, then Livingston is the one that they're going to continue to use in the Flash movie. I mean, I feel like if they have gone so far as to remove Ray Fisher from the movie and hire Livingston, then they've already made their intentions known. The only way that you'll hear any difference is after they start production, which will be next month. So next month will be like, you know, when they start production, and I think they're shooting in London. They start production and you see that Billy is not attached and you see that Ray is still not attached, then you have your answer right there. So you only have to wait about a month.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the link to Kirsten's article from the Insider. So definitely take a look at that. It kind of highlights the tweets that we were looking at. Definitely worth worth reading because I mean, when we look at those tweets and we look at those images, it's clear as day that they had an agenda, and they were out to make sure that agenda got put into place. It was gross, it was unprofessional, and they should never have done anything like that. And so I'm so thankful that we got Zack Snyder Justice League for more than just seeing the movie, just for multiple reasons on top of that. And for one, just for validating and defending what these characters stood for and what they represent. I think that is really, really important. So definitely check out the article. And real quick, let me see. I want to show some more tweets that I found. So these are the neat tweets of the day. You like my beautiful graphic? It's so good, isn't it?
That's gonna like really hurt somebody that has some visual issues.
Yeah, no, get rid of it. Right now.
Yeah, that's not good right there. You're gonna like, put somebody in shock. Like,
All right, let's take a quick look.
That
Okay,
too.
so this is the Injustice League cast announced. I'm not going to say their names. We all know who they are. I just thought this was funny. I didn't even like it. There we go.
You didn't think it was too funny though, did you?
Well, I immediately said it to myself. So I was like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna put this on the show." Here's another one too. This is from Sean Mayer. He said, he said, series to a 4-hour film fought for the title. WB didn't want new scenes. They leaked trailers. GVK put out the same weekend. The film leaked. Half of it put on early on HBO Max. No streaming numbers. DC news nearly every day. And starting off release. A coincidence? And guess what? The SJL still won. I mean, it just goes to show you that, like, look, you can argue all these were premeditated or not, but at the end of the day, it's still won. It didn't matter that all this garbage happened before the release and right, leading up to it and after. It still came out on top because it's that good of a movie.
I still haven't seen Godzilla vs. King Kong, or not King Kong.
Well, it hasn't come out yet.
Kong leaked. Yeah, it hasn't leaked.
Of course not. And Barcy brought that up earlier. Is that
I don't think that's going to get leaked. It's
Yeah.
exactly what you expect it to be. I watched it the other day.
Is it going to get leaked on Tom and Jerry? So if I go to watch Tom and Jerry, it'll be Godzilla
Tom and
versus
Jerry.
Kong. I know. I'm like, kids, watch out!
Kids!
So, Kirsten, you saw the movie. Is it entertaining? Without spoiling anything.
That's so funny that you mentioned it like that, because that's exactly what anyone says to me. They're like, "What did you think about it?" But don't say too much. And I'm like,
But don't tell us that Kong
what
won.
do you want me to say?
Yeah.
No, look, I watched that with my mom and my youngest brother over the weekend because I knew my youngest brother was into Godzilla. They all enjoyed it, and I think other people are going to enjoy it. It's a popcorn flick, It's exactly what I expected it to be, and I think people will enjoy it. I think it's a good watch on HBO Max. That's what I.
I like this one. It will get leaked on BBS.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta watch BBS. It's BBK. What? No way.
It's like Superman hit him with his breath, and then Batman grabbed an axe and started just jumped at him. That's crazy.
This is another one too. So here's Mara. There's Superman. There's the fish sticks. Because Joe called it fish. I just thought it was kind of funny. I don't know why.
I love that.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yes.
I love that one.
funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Fish sticks are delicious.
They really are.
Au contraire.
My little fish.
Au contraire?
I love
haven't heard that in a while.
I love that line. It's
No,
hilarious.
the Joker says it at the end. He says, "Au contraire."
Au
my little
contraire, my
fish.
little fish stick.
My little
Yeah.
fish. Yeah. So while we have Kirsten on here, let me ask you, Kirsten, what was your favorite scene of this movie? I know there's a lot of great scenes, but what's the one scene that stands out the most that you always kind of can recall the quickest?
Without any spoilers.
Yeah, don't spoil the movie because like.
Wait, which film are we talking about?
I know.
That's not his Justice League. That's not his
I'm like,
Justice
what?
League.
He's all, at the end when Kong dies. I mean, damn it!
No, Kong can't die. He has to become King Kong.
I mean, I immediately went to the Joker scene, but that's only because I was waiting. I feel like we've all been waiting however many years to just see an interaction between Batfleck and Jared Leto. And not everyone may appreciate that scene. I appreciate that scene just
I
because
love
Joker's one of my favorite characters. Whatever iteration you do of the Joker, like I like reading Joker comics. So it was very satisfying, not only for me to see an interaction between the two of them, but also to get one of like the dirtiest lines from the Joker that I never anticipated being in a Batman movie or a DC movie, and getting away with that.
Are you referring to Reach Around?
Yeah, of course I'm referring to the Reach. Yeah,
just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
Just want to make clear. Yeah,
but it was. Here's the thing: is that those lines, right? So in the 2017 Justice League, a lot of these crude lines were in bad taste.
Mm-hmm.
In Zack Snyder's Justice League, a lot of these, the comedy or a line like the Reach Around, it was all in perspective. It was put in the right place at the right time. It wasn't just like, oh God, that was over the top.
I just felt like that was so in line
context,
for Jared
exactly.
Leto's Joker. Like if you went back and you watched, Suicide Squad. God bless you if you watched Suicide Squad, but like, that fit with his character.
Yeah.
So
it really did. But in Justice League, there's so many good scenes. Anthony, what's your favorite scene from Zack Snyder Justice League?
Oh, it's well documented that when they're there's a lot, but when they're discussing resurrecting the Man of Steel, and the music builds and Cyborg throws up the hologram, teared up legit, like that shit got me. It shows him, it brings him up, and it jumps up, does that pose that we saw in all the trailers. But that's it for me. There's a lot of scenes that I really love in this movie, but that one, that's my favorite.
What about you, Allie?
Oh man, that's really hard to pick. But I think the one that stands out for me, that gets me like super emotional, is when Flash is reversing time to save the League. Like everything put together for that scene. Oh my God. Yeah. The track, just seeing Flash. I mean, as soon as we hear that note that you hear when he puts his hand up, this is explosion. And I love that scene through and through. Like I could just watch that scene on repeat. Like the music, the way everything looks around him, his dialogue. I love that scene so much.
Yo, Junkie XL is a fucking genius.
It's so perfect for that scene. Like it makes me cry. I love it. I love it so much. And seeing everything in yeah.
Brian, what about you?
Same. I like the
same. I liked all.
Yeah, I liked it all.
It's all good.
Just yes.
So,
but it's hard to pick one. I mean,
I like
it's
the
hard to
Flash
pick one.
scene. The one she's talking, I love the music. They go or whatever the hell it does. It's pretty awesome. It goes along with it so well. I like watching everything sort of reverse or unexplode. I like Cyborg scene, the premonition, as far as like him seeing the future, and then him saying no, and then Barry's like go, and it's like oh snap,
it's too late.
I was like so, and then in that scene as well, Flash reverses time again, so there has to be an alternate universe where Flash didn't save Superman, so there has to be a timeline where Superman is dead. And all that didn't happen, the way that they wanted it to. So yeah, those two right there, and then also at the very beginning, the sort of tie-in from BVS. I love those things. I like the shout heard around the world, or cry heard around the world, or that was awesome.
Says,
I love that.
Yes,
too.
Yeah.
Those
are the highlights for me.
Yeah, that shot's awesome. Just the opening shot, you're like, oh man, like seeing Superman die from that perspective, and like super slowed down. Well, seeing it from all their perspectives, really, but from the top shot point of view shot. Oh my God. And seeing it come out in slow motion, I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, just seeing them on screen again, that's what got me. When I was watching it, I was like, when it showed, Wonder Woman looking up, and then it showed, Batman, with the gun, I was just like, oh my god, I was in shock that I was actually watching these characters together again on the screen. I was like, that's Batman, and that's the real Wonder Woman. They're right there. And they're still in the same scene from BVS from when we last saw them. Like this is awesome.
So what scene do you think we'll see at the beginning, sort of like this, like you did saw in BVS? You know, it was the alternate perspective of this Superman and introduction of Batman, and then this one here was the scene where the death of Superman, and watching BVS after that, death of Superman, they did the whole funeral and all that stuff or whatever. So they just picked a piece. I think that they would start, or one place they could start is Steppenwolf's head, falling and getting crushed, and then the boom tube closing. But then you see the others, their perspective on that end, and sort of you sort of see that their interaction, communication. Granny Goodness speaks, and they're talking about like this is what we're doing, and then that's when it starts off with what's going on with the League at that point, or whatever. So I think that'd be a cool place to start.
I think Ryan's on to something, because something that I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but one of the giant plot holes that, and I know Zach addressed this a little tiny bit recently, but I just kept thinking Darkseid knew where the anti-life equation was. He knew it was on Earth. He got his ass beat there. And how do you forget your one major loss and where that took place? Because he didn't seem to know where it was. And I was just like, you would not forget that. And Zach basically, I think he said on Vero to someone that that he just that he kind of like did forget, because he was kind of like out of it. He was out of source, blood loss, and I was like, I get, and all of his followers died or would have died by then, and I was like,
and the parademons are dumb. They don't know how to use anything. They're just like whatever. They're like,
they're not 100% like unintelligent, because the parademon, like, he's following Barry when he's getting the charge. Like, he's able to shoot him, and I mean, he gets him. So they're not
he does make
mindless.
good use of the Coriolis effect.
I'm supposed to know what that is.
That's what that is. That's where that's
the what?
It's called the Coriolis effect.
Go ahead.
I guess that's a fail for everyone else that doesn't know.
So enlighten us.
So
what is the
basically,
Coriolis
what it
effect?
is you have a moving target, and you sort of.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Hey, he left.
But what Kirsten was saying,
I need to know. I thought we were going to learn something. No.
I know.
I know.
Ryan, come back. He left. He got mad. He'll come back though. Hopefully.
Well, what Kirsten was saying, I know this has come up a lot. It was also one of my questions, and I've talked with the foreigners about it too. Like I didn't pick up on it the first time I watched it, but like the second time I watched it, I thought of why wouldn't they know where to find the mother boxes, where, whatever. The only thing I found in the movie was that when Diana is narrating the history lesson, the only thing that gave me a little bit of a clue was like, she says that when they left the mother boxes, when they got left behind, it left this world. It said this world faded from view and became anonymous amongst a trillion worlds. That was the only thing I could find.
Oh, okay.
That it faded from view and became anonymous amongst a trillion worlds. That was the only thing in the movie that helped me a little bit. But
I mean, he didn't have the mother boxes, and so I would assume the mother boxes are what kind of led him to Earth to find
only because when Superman died and it woke it.
I'm saying originally,
because they went to sleep.
They went to sleep, and so because they were asleep, they couldn't call to him to say, "Hey, we're here." And you figure, I
wonder how did Steppenwolf conquer worlds? Because they said that they needed the mother boxes to conquer worlds.
I don't know.
This is what would have been explained in Justice League 2. I think we would have got more backstory on Darkseid. We would have,
I think so.
Yeah, because it kind of bounces. Sometimes when she's talking about in the history lesson, talking about the mother boxes. Sometimes when she refers to them, it sounds as though there's more than just three, but then sometimes it sounds like there's just the three. Like, go back and listen to that entire history lesson. Sometimes she refers to them like every planet has three, or every planet has some, but then it sometimes it's just like, oh, these are the only three in the universe, so like, we got to have these. It's just like the way she refers to them.
Mhm.
Like Ross has said, there's more than 3 boxes.
Right, and Reach has a good point here. Darkseid is a multiversal being, so it makes it even harder to remember which Earth it's on too. So we don't know how many different alternate universes he was going to and destroying Earth. If he would have showed up on the Christopher Nolan's Batman or Dark Knight Earth, he would have just wiped them out real quick. I think that if you were to start the movie from a different point of view, I think other than doing from Apocalypse, I think that you could start from Martian Manhunter's point of view, being at at NORAD or at somewhere where they're watching the events take place, and that kind of gives you perspective on where he's coming from. I think that's one thing you could do. But I was gonna have Ryan explain his theory.
Relativity.
Aurora Borealis, but he has gone into self portrait mode. And,
What
do you want to explain yourself?
We are eager to learn.
Ryan, what are you doing?
What am I doing? What do you mean? What am I doing? What are you doing?
I'm going to demonstrate the Coriolis effect.
Yes,
yeah, the Coriolis effect.
Yeah. Any football player or any football quarterback will tell you.
But you don't watch sports.
I don't. I play sports. I don't spectate. I don't watch sports. I play.
What is it then? Just enlighten us real quick. We're trying to wrap things up here.
It's like when you're throwing a football and you're anticipating the person being in the field of view, and you're timing the your target. And they're running across the field. What's that?
Ryan's gonna change his hearing aid in his battery, or his battery in his hearing aid.
You have to. Every so often.
Of
I
course,
use lithium
ion. Okay.
Yes.
And of course, Ryan, he's probably eating in the background, which I think he is now. Kristen, I want to apologize for this, but Ryan tends to eat nonstop when he's on a stream.
What are you talking about?
You always
it's
eat.
It's fish. You can't let fish go cold.
That's kind of great, because anytime that I'm actually usually on some sort of meeting for work, people will know that I am notorious for actually always just eating or drinking, and they'll be like, all right, this is just normal. This is what's going on.
Drinking. She's like, hey, all right, guys. So I have a couple things to say. And you shut up,
water.
Nicotina. You shut up.
Like, all of a sudden, he's hammered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's like, oh, there's Kirsten again drinking.
Did you guys see GVK?
GVK is the same as BVS. Batman wins.
Which one's Batman?
Wins.
Actually, next one in that movie.
King of the monsters.
There's a quote you should always hang on to. You can't let fish go cold. Ryan, 2021. I didn't see the comment. Which one? Russia. Each box needs 3 mystics.
Oh, okay. And
that's right,
because I know about there's also father box technology, which is like one creates and one destroys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think father box technology destroys and mother box technology creates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. What do you say?
It's fishy sauce. It's supposed to be cold.
It's supposed to be cold. But
overall, that's another like Warner Brothers. Think about it. Freaking Batman Returns. Like, I'll teach you my French flipper trick. Say it's a sexual innuendo.
I know, but that was different. They didn't go back and add that. It wasn't like Tim Burton dropped out of the movie and somebody else came in. They added a whole bunch of weird sexual jokes. You know what I mean? It's a little different.
It was just the way they did things back then.
It was just the way they did. I mean, look at the Three Amigos. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Could they make it now? Hell no. The same way they made it. And if they made the same movie now, exactly the same way, people would flip out. Yeah. But I love the Three Amigos. It's a great movie.
Blazing Saddles. You can't say
Blazing Saddles. There you go.
Blazing Saddles. That's another great movie you can't make today.
You can't. You cannot make it today. You really can't. But with that being said, Kirsten, thank you so much for coming on here and talking with us about the article and about the thread that you had put together. I think it really sheds light onto what they were trying to accomplish, and the fact that they let those things happen and didn't think about what effect, about how it would look, how it would reflect upon them as a studio or as filmmakers. So I applaud you for doing that, because that was really, really awesome that you did that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
That is
cockroaches, scurrying when the light turns on. That's Warner Brothers.
They're like,
It was one of the first things I wanted to write after seeing the film, but there were other things that, things that we didn't discuss today that I'm sure you've discussed before in terms of the diversity that was just cut at the knees, from the 2017 cut that was restored. So, had to hit on those points first, to hit on, I had spoken at length with Harry and I wanted to know all about how Martian Manhunter came back into the film. So that's on Insider as well. We talked about restoring the Snyderverse. We talked about how Zach, he said that Zach was basically leagues ahead when it came to, he was ahead of the curve when it came to wanting to have diverse characters on film along with the Wachowskis. And yeah, then finally, after all that other stuff was done, I was like, all right, I think I can finally go and attack. I didn't know how I wanted to write this thing at first. And then when that article, when the two things happened almost simultaneously, the Ann Sarnoff article interview, and then Zach saying that Warner Brothers saw the 2017 film as canon, it was just like, I was kind of like seeing red. And that's usually not how I am, but I was just like, every time that anyone in the past has ever said to me, oh, what do you think about the 2017 film? And I would be like, I would immediately go to some of these scenes that I wrote about. But anytime I would talk to, no offense, but anytime I would talk to guys, most of the time they would just tell me, oh, I thought it was fun. And immediately my mind would just go to the thirsty scene or the Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot,
right. Because guys we don't see that. All we see is action and, and that other stuff we do see later, but overall we're just looking at were the fight scenes good?
Right.
We're not looking at the underlying stuff like the groans. We had no idea, that Wonder Woman was making those weird groans when Superman was combating her. We just all we saw was the headbutts, and we were like, oh, cool, they both headbutt each other. But that other stuff is I don't want to say subliminal, but it's maybe not on our radar, or maybe we don't pay attention to it or sense it or something like that. Because it was very eye opening to see that today on the guy that tweeted it. So yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, we're oblivious. I don't want to say oblivious. Nicotine is oblivious.
No, I don't do oblivious. Oblivious. No, but and even this too. Zach had pitched an Asian Adam movie, which would have had an all Chinese cast. And that was it's like that is another opportunity for WB to show their diversity as well. And still they didn't take advantage of that because I don't know.
Well, it's the same thing with Blue Beetle. They keep throwing Blue Beetle at us, but and this time they put a director or attached a director to it, but they've attached directors to other things as well, like New Gods and stuff like that. So they have attached directors to other properties, but they just keep throwing it here's a breadcrumb. We're not going to make it, but here's a breadcrumb.
Yeah. Hey, Blue Beetle, he's going to be a Latino. And then that's it. You're just like, okay, what's that gonna happen? But you know what? But even when they put that out, right? Even when they put that out, what's the question that always gets followed right after that? Is it connected to the Snyderverse? And they're like, damn it, God! It doesn't matter. Actually, this is their reaction right here. No! So, like I said, Kirsten, thank you so much for being here. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, well, one, I also just want to say thanks for having me today because I know that we wanted to try to do this last week, but I'm glad that it wound up working for today because I'm glad that we were able to have this conversation instead about this very important topic. But if you want to follow along, you can read me on insider.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Kirsten Acuna, which is just my name. That's the entire Twitter handle. I had to make that in college and they weren't fun or cool. And they said that you had to be first name, last name. So that's why it's what it is. But yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter. Honestly, I'm usually tweeting a lot about either, I guess, restoring the Snyderverse right now or Walking Dead, because that's my other thing. And you guys don't have to go and say that. Is that show still on? Because I get a lot of that all the time.
I gotta catch up with it. I really do.
Yeah. I got
You don't have
Stop
to.
at
It's
season
okay.
Well, no, I mean, I watched so much of it, and then I kind of gave up on it. And I actually watched a season by myself because my wife had totally let go of the show.
I'm sorry, but how are those zombies still? How do they still have flesh on their bodies?
Some of them don't.
They should be completely skeletons by now.
They probably should. You're right. It's been like 12
I have
years.
some kind of muscle to move around.
They're like, I've been working out. Oh crap! I lost my arm.
But here's the one thing I always say to everyone. Oh, look at this. We have John. Walking Dead is awesome. Yay. I always say to anyone who dropped off the show, because most people have dropped off the show, season 6 finale, season 7 premiere. I say that if you stuck with it for that long, you at least owe it to yourself to watch 905, which is Rick Grimes' final episode. If you enjoy that, maybe then start back up and watch it. If you don't like that, then at least you watched Rick's final episode.
There you go. Exactly. Okay, and let's go around the horn. Allie, where can they find you?
Yes, Twitter at SuperHiveDC, Instagram Brooks_Hive, and my YouTube channel is SuperHive.
Right there. Anthony, where can they find
it's
you?
Opposite.
It's right here as I point to you. You clearly see.
You're good.
He's waiting.
I'm not gonna. I already did that. I'm not gonna do it again.
I put my ats in the fucking chat just in case.
In the fucking chat. Okay. Oh, he did. He put it in the chat.
My ats.
Yeah.
Starts ACS Universe on YouTube. I'm done. Next.
There you go. And Ryan, where can they find you? And I also posted the link in the chat to the article, Kirsten's article.
So
well.
as you
Definitely
can
check
see
that out.
right here, right? No, wait, hold on, wrong side of the screen, right here.
Allie, I am glad that you pushed your microphone away from you because you were just like,
yeah. I love the Snyder Cut.
So
it's pretty much in the same spot, but I'm just
you're further away from it.
I wasn't used to it.
It like filed a restraining
Last
order.
time we were on a show, we had to put mittens on her hands so that she would stop hitting our microphone.
Yeah, so
Oh,
just like
yeah,
Allie
yeah.
just got a new mic, right?
microphone
And
was,
she
like,
had stuff
flying
in
across
front of
the
her,
room.
and she'd be talking to us, and as she was talking, she'd be like, "Yeah," and you know, I swear to God, she beat this thing up so bad. She beat it up so bad. I'm pretty sure she has a new mic now because the other one was just so trash. Every 10 minutes, it was like, "No, that's what I'm saying, you guys." And I was like, "Oh, damn!" It was like you're watching a UFC fight. You're like, "Oh, that one hurt. She hurt him. She hurt him."
I'm not used to having this huge arm
The
with all
next day,
this stuff.
she had band-aids on her knuckles.
Oh man.
Nicotina's never gonna let that go. It was one stream.
And then she made a girl cry on her stream. Oh my gosh.
I did not make her cry.
What? Peace out, Rob.
Nicotina messaged me yesterday. He was like, "I can't believe you made Liz Wonder cry." I
No,
did not
she
make her
did not make
cry.
her
She
cry.
got emotional and she started crying.
Exactly. She was talking about something very serious, and it was
Yes.
actually something that is not very funny because it was talking about some of the
The context wasn't funny. Just
the context
No,
wasn't funny.
people being
Aftermath and just
hateful.
teasing
Yeah.
Allie was funny. But yes,
Yeah.
no, it was a real situation. She did cry because of, I guess, things that had happened to her past, and so it brought up some emotions and so that happened.
I wasn't pressing her.
It was a good show.
She was just talking and just kind of came out and she started crying. And I was like, "It's okay."
Anthony, you can find me in the fire. Here it is, right here. I think I got it. Here it is.
It's fire.
And that's Anthony's catchphrase.
I like the
Oh shit.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, Allie, Ryan, Anthony, and Kirsten, and to Matt Jarborough as well, who was here earlier, and to Dawson as well. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show, and everyone at home watching, thank you for watching. Smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel with the bell notification button so you're always notified of any new content my channel puts out. And I'll likely be back on Wednesday for the Nicotina Show with the two badasses that are Allie Brooks and ACS Universe if they're free, and possibly Ryan as well. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Like I said,
you don't get paid like I do. He just said you're free.
Fire. Anyway,
Fire.
you guys, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Until then, keep tweeting out hashtag Restore Snyderverse, and like Matt was saying, at this point, when you tweet it out, I would just tag The Rock. so that Danny Garcia and the Rock's people see that he's wanted in the Snyderverse, which from what I hear, he already wants to be a part of. So definitely support that. Support Kirsten over on the Insider, and we'll see you guys next time.